No, unfortunately.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Geekverse podcast. I don't know, man. I'm the father to be.
You're the birthday
Travis.
boy.
The birthday boy. Come on.
Well, when they
It's my
listen to this, it's not. But yeah, it's my birthday. Yeah. when
Happy
they
birthday, Travis.
Thank you. Yeah, we're recording this on my birthday. This is life. See, this is why you need to support us. I could be doing so much stuff, money, gambling, but no, I'm here talking about video games and comic books. And really, it's because I have a child that's coming tomorrow, so I can't plan anything. And it's a Tuesday.
We're not going to use your money to gamble, okay? Don't believe Travis on what he just said.
And I'm here with
Adam Hartcaster, Dylan Musk.
And I am the fantastic Phase 4 Kirkland.
Oh, yeah.
You like that one?
That's fun.
I guess. It just makes me sad that Fantastic Four is not in the face. So it's a good nickname, but you also make me sad at the same time. So
That's what I do on your birthday.
You're not that sad. You don't like them
negative
that much.
points. It's true. It's true.
Just watch the
I
last
still want to
movie.
see him.
Yeah, go back.
Oh, yeah.
It's
2015.
fantastic.
Some cheap plugs out of the way. Me and Taylor did a episode 9 breakdown trailer and all our theories on Dark Ray. We're going to talk about that quickly today because these two haven't talked
You did
about
a
it.
breakdown trailer, huh?
Yeah. Trailer breakdown. Me and Dylan did the TV panel a couple days, which we're going to talk about again today, but in depth on Obi-Wan and Moon Knight and Miss Marvel. But we're going to talk about those today because we're ranking the entire Phase 4. We're going to do news first, and then Phase 4 rankings will be last. So this I will leave in the description because the title is going to be Phase 4 ranking. So if you're like, oh, it's start off and it's not the Phase 4, I'll put it in the description if you just really want to skip to. Because
you got to wait for the bread and butter.
Yeah,
on this one.
the news is like there's some minor stuff today. What else is coming? Next week will be our It Chapter 2 review.
Yes.
Very exciting. Nice 3 hours of it. So it's all ready and edited to go. There's going to be our first time. We're going to test something for you new listeners that been with us at Game. We're putting on a GV Classic episode. What this is, so if you don't know, because you're on the podcast world, podcast feeds are only allowed to have 250 episodes your past.
Unlike Spotify and iTunes.
Yeah. The only place you can do is SoundCloud and obviously YouTube. But there's so many times where you want to say, oh, go listen to that, and it's nowhere on the feed. So there's going to be a little opening I recorded in before just saying about what it is and what the deal is. It is on our old mic, so that's the thing. If you listen to it and you're 2 minutes in, you're like, this quality is not what it used to be, or not what it usually is, and I can't listen to it, then just go ahead. But there will be an opening explaining that it's something different. So listen to it, and if you like it or whatnot, let us know, because we're thinking about doing that. Not all the time. It'll be very rare, but just some casts like this, maybe the Star Wars commentary track, that are big, but we recorded 3 years ago, and you can't listen to them at all unless SoundCloud. And lots of people, I've had that before, go to SoundCloud. I don't like SoundCloud. I'm like, oh, shit. I had that with Patreon, because someone asked me for audio. Like, I'm like, oh, what about SoundCloud? I don't really like SoundCloud, but that's why on Patreon you can go get the audio and video feeds right there.
SoundCloud's mobile app too is like not nice.
No, not at all.
You can't like easily down. I don't even know how you download stuff. I don't know if you can. It's very unintuitive.
You can't. That's all up to the person that puts it out. You get to choose they can download and stuff. Right. So so that's why you go to Patreon, $1 level, $5 level. You get all our content. We got the solo commentary track up there. We got the Spider-Man PS4. You can get me and Taylor recorded Cantina conversations on Obi-Wan. So that's up there at just the $1 level audio. There's because we have the top secret Geekverse audio feed. That's what it's called for patrons. So the only way you can get it is if you're on Patreon, and it gets uploaded directly to there. Sometimes some episodes are in 2 parts, like the solo commentary track. That's just because the megabytes are. You do sometimes 3-hour podcasts, and they got a little divided. So I don't think there's anything else that is happening that I have to plug. I think I got all the way. September, October, November gonna be huge.
I guess we could shout out Kirkland for officially getting a point in the.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about.
For reminding me.
We're gonna talk about that today.
You want to get that later?
Sure. Well, we're gonna start.
I just feel like that's kind of like an announcement thing. That's why I was bringing it up.
Okay, you gonna announce it?
Well, why'd you have to make it that awkward, Travis? Huh? What's your problem?
We could get it out of the way because I was gonna start with Marvel Alliance first, but Kit Harington was cast in the Eternals. He's playing Dane Whitman, aka the Black Knight.
Whitman.
Yeah, so good on you for the point.
Thank you very much.
I'm happy where he is. I'm not that familiar with Black Knight, and I know some people are like it's a big character. I have to disagree. I'm kind of surprised that's where he ended up when we heard he was going to be in it. But the rumor is, which is strange with Eternals, he's going to be the main character of the movie, and he's not an Eternal. So kind of strange. We're going to talk about that later again, but yeah.
Yeah,
congratulations.
I thought it was kind of funny because I don't know anything about Black Knight, but I think it's kind of similar level role to like Game of Thrones. He's just like
medieval guy,
sword wielder.
Yeah,
so I thought that was kind of funny. But he's definitely got that look. I mean,
he's definitely got the look.
He definitely looked like
he's got a strong look in general.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
great hair.
Mm-hmm.
He's got good hair,
long, flowing.
Any thoughts, Dylan? No Gambit for you, but
no Gambit. I don't know. I think that I kind of thought of that one in the moment, and I think it would be a cool pick. But I guess I wasn't too attached to it, so it's fine.
Yeah, I'm happy it's Eternals. I just honestly I just didn't
That
want it for
movie's just
Wolverine.
a very I don't know.
We're gonna talk about
I just don't know what to expect.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about it. Oh crap! And then I'm hopefully getting some points soon because
Hopefully.
Suicide Squad is shooting September 23rd, and they're gonna do the table read the 11th. So that means they're soon gonna put out a press release who the cast is, and I've picked John Cena. That's my 2-pointer. So if I can get that,
Right.
that is I'm taking a nice
That's a
lead
good one.
over you.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're pumping for you.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see if it happens.
Let's see. Should we just get the movies out of the way because we just already started talking about it? I don't
Yes.
know much.
I say yes.
Yeah. Also, Taika Waititi was cast in Suicide Squad quickly. Unknown role, but
Yeah.
more Marvel and
interesting.
DC kind of like crossover happening. The
Uh-huh.
director of Thor being in that. So I don't know who he's going to play.
I wonder
but
how Feige feels about that.
What if he's just like another CGI character?
I think there's a strong chance that
Yeah.
he is.
Yeah.
'Cause I
Just
think
some
that's
funny
kind of
voice.
yeah, because he's playing that in The Mandalorian. So I think
Oh, is
there's-
he?
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
okay.
IG-11, not I-88, as I've been told. He's a robot assassin. So yeah,
Damn.
that's kind of his deal. So
He's a striking looking guy. I don't know why he keeps having to hide behind the CGI characters.
He looked great in Green Lantern.
Mm-hmm.
oh
Did he?
boy, yeah, he plays Ryan Reynolds' best friend in that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, go check out our Green Lantern retrospective. I wish if they ever did like a remake of the Batman 60s, I think he's a perfect Joker. I want to see him in like a comedic Joker. I think he'd be great.
could be
Let's
fun.
see. What else? I thought there was something else I announced. No, I guess we'll talk about Marvel. Let's see. Irishman is coming out November 1st in theaters for a few weeks and limited indie theaters, and then the 27th in on Netflix. So
Okay.
I'm excited for that.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it sucks that it's still 2 weeks, but I'll wait. But yeah, so it's come out 27th.
Is that like just to hit essentially prerequisites to make it like an Oscar
yeah,
film?
you gotta play. I think in like 4 theaters in LA for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
and then you can qualify. So
That
yeah,
makes sense. You gotta do what you gotta do.
yeah. So
You're
I'll be
Scorsese.
reviewing that one. I think Dylan, you said you might join me for that one.
I'm pretty interested.
Yeah, I think I you don't gotta watch his whole filmography, but I would like it if I recommend you like 3 Scorsese films,
Mhm.
and from now until then you watch it. You already want to watch The Departed, so that's on the
I
list.
have to rewatch that because I watched it very late at night and I was very sleepy.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And I admittedly slept through parts of it, but from what I was awake for, it was pretty good.
You gotta watch Goodfellas.
Goodfellas,
and you
yeah.
gotta watch. I don't know the third one. I can make a
No?
weird pick. I can make maybe someone with De Niro, like Cape Fear or
Ooh.
or Taxi Driver. You
He's in
should watch.
Goodfellas.
Taxi
though,
Driver's
isn't
great.
Yeah, you're right. He is in Goodfellas. Fuck. Oh,
He's just
man.
that good.
Yeah, he is.
Chameleon.
Let's see. 2 other things I just want to show on movies and TVs. These guys can comment on if they want or not. Eddie Murphy, for the first time in 35 years, is hosting SNL.
That is amazing.
I'm very
That's
excited.
35 years. I would not have predicted that long.
35 years.
I thought he was only like 40 years old.
Yeah, yeah.
What
so-
season are they on in
What?
SNL?
I think they're gonna be 43
Yeah,
next year or
that's wild.
something.
Just
yeah,
that
yeah.
number.
And yeah, that was 1984, and I think because he was just pretty young when he was doing the stand-up and everything like that. But I haven't talked about much on this, but he's my favorite stand-up comedian. He's my favorite SNL performer. So I like it sounds dramatic, but like I almost cried when I saw it because they had like a falling out him and SNL, and that's why.
Yeah.
And they did a 40-year anniversary, and he came back for 2 minutes, and it sucked because you could tell he was really nervous. He didn't do any comedy. He just came on stage to talk, and it sucked. And there was just a big thing like Eddie Murphy's come back to SNL, but now that he's hosting, that's like a huge
That's
thing.
cool.
So I don't review
What has he
SNL.
been? Has he been like doing movies and stuff lately?
No, not really. He did what his last movie was in 2016. It was a bomb, and he's kind of stopped. But he's doing a bunch of stuff. He has a movie coming out in fall on Netflix. My
Okay.
name's Dolomite. It's about like a black actor who was trying to make a name in Hollywood back in the day. So it's kind of like a fun biography. He's doing Coming to America 2. I'm not sure if you've ever seen Coming to America 1, but it was a big movie for him in the 80s. He signed a $70 million deal with Netflix to do stand-up again. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
he's doing 3
that's
cool.
specials, which is
That's
huge because
crazy.
Delirious and Raw are some of my favorites, and now he's doing SNL. So he's making the full, like,
Yeah.
he's making the, like, I could consider
Are
making
those
for
other
a
2
comic book
movies?
draft next year.
Are those other 2 movies comedies? Fuck. I
Yeah, we're on a
they are
roll
comedy.
today.
Uh,
Yeah,
comedies
Coming
as
to
well.
America is, and then Black Dolomite. It looks like that, but it's kind of, I'd say, like the dramedy side, but it's
Yeah,
definitely
okay.
comedic. So,
Right.
but yeah,
Okay.
he's making a big comeback, which is
That's
it's
cool. I mean,
yeah.
he was like really in that era of SNL. He pretty much carried it, right?
100%.
So that's pretty cool that he's coming back. He definitely has a legacy there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited for those stand-ups because I'm a huge fan of Raw and Delirious.
Yeah, I feel bad for him because he's only done those 2. He retired at the highest game, and now everyone's just like gonna be waiting. Like, can you still bring it. And like I just watched the Chappelle special. That was great. He can still bring it, but you never know after that long. But hey, he's getting that money. So either he wants to make a comeback or he's just made some really bad investments, and that's why he's doing all this.
Some comedians take it from past. Look at Adam Sandler. He just pumps out like 7 shit movies a year. It's like, okay, well, that's one way to go about it.
Just keeping the lights on.
Yeah. And then the other thing, I'll just shout out because I don't think I'll be on the review if they even do it. I'm halfway through 13 Reasons Season Y.
Season Y?
This is a rough day.
You know, you could call it that.
13 Reasons Why Season 3. Oh my God, is it bad? It's so tough to get through.
Nice.
And even the first one, I always had problems when you go back. I was one of the first to be like, this is an offensive show and it doesn't work for kids. And then Season 2 was bad, and this is even worse, but it's like, Kirkland can attest this. It's like Riverdale. It's just hate watching at this point. It's so bad. It's good. But like, they're like, I'll just shout 3 things they're doing this season. 1, they're trying to make like the rapist like sympathetic, and it's kind of like he did a lot of bad stuff, but you know what? He's going through a tough time, and that's not the greatest storyline. Like, you can try to make a villain sympathetic, but there's a point where they're doing it too much. This main character they've introduced, because Hannah's not on the show anymore, they introduced a girl named...
That makes sense. She died a long time ago.
I know, but she was in season 2 the whole... She was like a shadow...
Forest ghost.
Yeah, exactly. So there's this character named Ani, and she's a...
Ani?
Yeah, she's British.
That sounds like a Star Wars character for sure.
Shmi's sister, Ani. She's like the new kid in school, and she's narrating them. Oh, she's the worst ever. And I'd heard about it on Twitter. I'm like, I'm sure people are just being over dramatic. Man, it's so hypocritical. I almost dropped a spoiler. I won't. But like, it's just terrible. Like, she's even like, and there's her and other characters kind of giving this rapist guy like a pass. It is just... woof, it's bad, you know. And people all the time probably might ask me why I watch it. I like some of the characters, I like the actors, but man, it's tough to get through. But I'm there. I'm already there. Next year's the last season, so I'm gonna finish it. So that's just my 2 cents in case I will not definitely be on the review because I got a kid coming. But if there's no review, there's my 2 cents for 13 Reasons Why.
Good to know.
Just a garbage show. Great soundtrack though. Soundtrack's phenomenal.
Oh,
on the
that's
shows.
cool.
Yeah. The score.
I never got around to season 2 myself, but
me neither.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
I watched season 1 and I wasn't looking for more.
You go to the Patreon $100 tier, Dylan will retrospect of that season 2, right, Dylan?
$100, yeah. I'll do just about anything.
I'd join that.
But
I can't guarantee I won't watch it on 1.5 times speed.
No. they say you're going to watch it at negative 1.5 speed.
Oh, I got to watch it slower?
Yeah.
That's $200.
Yeah, exactly. Double it.
That's all the movie. Like, oh, and shit, I almost forgot. They released during D23, which is weird, a preview for El Camino, the Breaking Bad movie that has been rumored. They apparently shot it. It's all shot. They shot in secret. It's coming out October 11th. I got to give a shout out to my lady Emily that, you know what, they should have dropped this fucking November 12th. I really think they should have, because I think The Mandalorian's big, but I don't think anything on Disney Plus, Disney Plus is huge, but they really could have took some of that conversation away from Disney Plus, like the Breaking Bad movie, because that has like such a huge established audience. The Mandalorian will be big, but it's one episode compared to a movie to a show lots of people consider one of the greats. So I did think they missed an opportunity there, but I'm really excited. I'll definitely be reviewing that. I think Kyle might join me on a Skype review because that's his all-time favorite show too. And that
is it like a spin-off or is it a continuation?
Yeah, it's a continuation. There's a certain character that still survives in that show, and it's kind of like what happens after all the fallout of the show. So it's
interesting.
Yeah, and because obviously they got Better Call Saul going on, which is a prequel.
Right.
So
that's a prequel. Okay.
Yeah, that's a prequel. Yeah, so this is a full-on continuation. The whole crew's back, directors, writers, everything like that. So yeah, I'm really excited.
That's awesome.
I'm excited too. Just because that one character is it just about him?
I think so, right? Yeah, I would imagine. There's other characters that survive that show, so they might get hinted at. I don't know. They might be in it. Who knows? It's tough, right?
I just remember when I finished the show, I'm like, oh, I got to know like what's happening with him afterwards, because it just ends not necessarily on a big cliffhanger, but sort of, because I don't know, it's unanswered questions, right?
There's still lots open, and I think this as a movie makes sense. Where if they would have been like, we need a series, I don't think that character needed a series by his own, but like a 2.5 hour movie. Think it works, so I'm very excited. Yeah, as my favorite fan, so as my favorite fan, my favorite TV show of all time. Because I think, I know Heisenberg is like, I had a dog named after him. I think that is the greatest telling of a villain story ever. When you meet this guy who has kids, he's just a teacher and a nice father guy, to what he becomes at the end of that show. There's no villain that's been done better than him, in my opinion. Obviously, that's because you get 6 seasons, so you get a lot of time to like.
Well, yeah.
You know,
but still, I mean, some people 6 seasons, it does nothing for their
13 Reasons Why is almost 4, and
there's an example right there.
Oof, the only villain is the writers of that show. But that's why, you know what, Disney Plus, just don't kill off Kylo Ren and give me that Kylo show. You know, I'm really
show.
If that happens in 2 years,
sounds like a talk show.
If Kylo Ren survives episode 9 and they
use like stormtroopers,
and they just announce the show Kylo, you're gonna actually see me backflip on.
I will record.
And you don't know how to backflip yet, do you?
I've done it before.
Okay.
I feel
flat ground.
What?
Do you want to like?
I feel more confident. Yeah, I shouldn't have agreed to that. I feel more confident on grass in this hardwood, not so much. But you know, I'll
still
figure it
flat
out.
ground.
Yeah, I know. So 50-50.
Maybe we shouldn't, force this upon.
You guys got any other movie TV news?
No, D23 on Saturday was a real big bummer.
Yeah,
so unfortunately we didn't end up doing a cast on it, not because we didn't want to, because there was just nothing to talk about.
I guess, did you guys want to say any thoughts on the episode 9 footage?
I have not seen anything.
Oh, you're
other than snippets, like little photos. But
yeah. Have you seen the like dark Ray moment?
Nope.
Okay.
I've seen photos, but no.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, you've seen photos of the dark Ray moment?
Maybe.
Do you know what she's holding in it?
Something. A lamp.
A lamp. I mean, yeah, I get, like, by definition, it probably is a lamp.
Yes, I do know what it is.
Dylan, you got any thoughts? Because you wanted us to shout something out on that cast record, but you messaged us out.
I don't want to say anything because Kirkland's being coy, but
I will see it by at one point. It's not like I'm trying to avoid spoilers. It's kind of hard on this podcast because we kind of talk about all that stuff. But
and it's a marketing tool. It's not a spoiler. It didn't leak. They put it out there, so they just watch as fans. Watch it.
I thought it was a decent trailer, but honestly, there wasn't a whole lot there for me. Like, I felt that way about the first trailer that we got a few months ago, in like April or something. It just didn't really hit me like other trailers have, like other Star Wars trailers have recently. Nothing has topped those Force Awakens trailers of just the pure mystery and like all the different ways to break it down.
I really like the poster. The poster looks great.
With the Emperor and two of them and whatnot.
I like it.
It's good. Yeah, yeah. I think October is when they've dropped the last two final Star Wars trailers for like the sagas. So I think that's when we'll get the full and like juicy. This is the story of the movie.
Sure.
So up until then, it's always just like look at this and look at this and
cool shots. Yeah,
it's
trust in Jesus. Yeah. Video game news. We're going to talk about this, and then we'll get into those nice Marvel Phase 4 rankings. But this has to do with Marvel because we're talking about Marvel Ultimate Alliance. Dylan, what did they show us this past week? Which was weird why didn't this come out at the same time when they did the Curse of... I guess maybe they didn't want to like confuse people, but I felt like during Gamescom would have been time to announce this.
Because the marketing for this game is a total mess. Namely because... Team Ninja has absolutely no control over any of the marketing, and it's controlled 100% by both Nintendo and Marvel, which I can't imagine is any sort of kind thing to try to do to yourself. That must be savage, right?
Yeah.
Imagine the layers of PR that go into that, this connection between them. Yeah. Like it's. I'm sure it's no fun at all. So that's why you just kind of get news with absolutely no prior knowledge. They just drop at random times, and that's why you gotta join the Discord, because anything that drops about that game, in that Discord, it's found out about within 10 minutes.
It's a very active Discord.
It is a very active Discord. So, as I'm sure most of you know, I mean, we've talked about this game an absurd amount in the last couple of months, but a couple of free characters are coming out in just a few days on the 30th. I think 31st, one of those 2 days.
It's the 30th, yeah, because it's a Friday, yeah.
So we're getting Colossus and Cyclops for free, which is pretty fun. They're in the main story of the game, but you don't get to play as them, so it'll be cool to have them in there. They showed like the shortest of clips of them. You see like one of Colossus's moves. He like spins a guy around, and then Cyclops just does like some classic laser beam. So
yeah,
I mean, they look exactly the same as they do in game, but that's kind of what you expect and what you want, because they have great looks. But they also finally showed these 3 costumes that we've heard about a few weeks ago, but didn't know if that meant more recolors or if that meant actual costumes. But we saw what they are, and they are definitely full-on costumes. You get Symbiote Spider-Man, Planet Hulk, and I guess it's called the Miss Marvel costume for Captain Marvel.
Yeah, which is her OG costume, right? With the kind of long hair, black and yellow, lightning bolts and whatnot.
That's the costume. Well, I guess by default that she had back in Ultimate Alliance 1, so that's kind of fun for that reason. But I think they're pretty awesome costumes, personally. They look pretty awesome, and I mean, they're actual,
and they're not recolors.
Yeah, they're actual costumes this time around. I'm curious what you guys think of the Spider-Man one, because obviously Spidey, like, we all played the PS4 game. It's like there's an insane amount of possible costumes they could have picked. So what do you think of them going with Symbiote?
I mean, I'm biased because that's probably like my favorite like
Venom.
Spider-Man.
You're a Venom boy.
Like costume. Yeah,
Venom
I'm a big Venom boy. But no, I absolutely love it. I don't know if I mentioned on the review, but I remember just being like, oh, I wish they had the symbiote Spider-Man in there because I'm such a big fan of it, and the look is just so good, and can't wait to try it out.
Yeah, I think it looks amazing.
Yeah, and like going back to your point, yeah, there is millions of Spider-Man costumes that they could have done. Mainly like I don't know, just like I don't know if they would have done the PS4 Spider-Man one, like the advanced suit. Probably not, because it's Sony.
Like with the white and everything.
Yeah,
I doubt it because
there's always a chance, but
just because it's Sony, like, specifically for that, probably not. But who like. I don't know. I mean, the Toby suit would be sick.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty happy with it. I'm just curious, like, if let's say this is the only, like, I'd say it's safe to assume that Spider-Man won't get another costume. Like, they just have so many other characters. They're probably going to roll out one for every character, I'm thinking. If this is only Spider-Man, I could see that.
Wow.
I could see that.
Well, I want it, but I'm not going to get that hyped yet.
Well, they did say that they plan to, like, keep releasing them, like, throughout 2019 into 2020. I don't know if they are intending on having a costume for every character, but I guess I wouldn't be shocked if they did.
Yeah, I also wonder if they would keep doing it like 3 at a time, or if I don't know, they have more time to spend on.
I think it could depend.
Chunk.
Like, I could honestly see them holding off on any of the X-Men character ones, and then when the X-Men DLC comes out, maybe they just release like a bunch that are all like from the same run or something, and they all have like the same sort of costume.
That makes sense.
Even like Fantastic Four, when that comes out, you could like, Spider-Man I think has been in the Fantastic Four at some point. A bunch of random characters have. Maybe they throw just like a suit on them. Yeah. Throw that in there as well. I'm not sure. But I don't know. It'd be cool if they released them like consistently. And
that'd be sweet.
The Planet Hulk one looks just so awesome.
Sick.
I think that's probably like the preferred one for Hulk, I would say, from my point of view at least. Because you could go with like Red Hulk or I don't know. I guess there's some different ones. The other one that people want is like the Joe Fix-It one, I think it's called. He's like wearing like a suit and like a top hat or something. But I think this one is the optimal.
Plus, we're getting that for Fix-It in this because they're putting in Marvel Avengers. So, yeah, I like them. I think with Planet Hulk, that one makes sense. I think that's the thing. They all make sense. Planet Hulk makes sense because, you could do Red Hulk. They've done that in the past. And it's not as fun as a reskin like it is. You could do Grey Hulk, but it's just a different color. That's just a recolor. Yeah. They could easily go and do... What is Hulk's actual... I don't think I've ever got his second costume. What is his...
He's just gray.
Gray
and see, which is an actual
sickly Hulk.
Because Gray Hulk did start as gray, so the same thing. Even if they want to add, we've done a recolor of Hulk as red. That's easy. So I think Planet Hulk's great. Miss Marvel's good because it's such a different costume. You could have done the OG or the new one with long hair, but this is like the full-on makeover, so that worked. And this, the symbiote makes sense for me for 2 reasons. One, I just feel that's still Spider-Man's popular suit next to the OG one. You have like different versions of like the Sam Raimi or like the Iron Spider is getting more popular, but everyone still knows like the black suit Spider-Man, and it's a comic book one. It's not like some weird one that I'm sure they're going to do for the PS4 or even Spider-Man 3. Like Toby's one is like it's black, but it's not that same. It's a whole-on symbiote suit. And the other thing is because Spider-Man PS4 didn't do that suit, so I think they looked at them and they said, we talked about this on a cast coming up, wink wink, that they didn't do that suit in Miles because they were only going to do that for story purposes. So that's why I think this is like, well, what have they done? What haven't they done? Well, let's do the black symbiote suit. And I think that's a good point. Yeah, I think that to me is the most. I think the only one that would have got more hype is maybe if they did like it's already so similar to Tom Holland's MCU one, so like maybe one of the Iron Spider suits, but even then, like, I'm not a big fan of the MCU Iron Spider one, so I think this is the safe choice. I think with these costumes,
it's something clearly different as well, which is nice.
Yeah. I think with these costumes, they're just trying to go for the hype picks, and I thought all 3 of these were hype picks. So I'm excited to now, if I think about it, because I still go back and forth on every character, because someone like Miles and Spider-Gwen, they don't have many changes right now, so that's why I don't think every character. But if they do this for a majority of characters, same thing with X-Men, I have to like sit back and think and say, oh, what could we get, and that's exciting, and those costumes look great. So now they gave me a bit more faith because they really let me down on the costume front on the base game, because those for the most part are all pretty lazy. There's a few that I like, but for the most part I was like, it's not even worth it.
I maybe use like 7 or 8 of them.
Yeah, so
like they're pretty close to the original ones anyway. So
yeah, and it was nice to see. It's nice to see like this DLC that's coming in free it's 2 characters and 3 costumes. That's fun, free DLC.
Yeah,
so
why not? And that's just like, I guess, to hold you over a bit until we get a full another DLC next month, which we talked about a week ago or so.
Go back and check it out. Kirkland, when you get this game, huh?
true. You have your Switch, man. What are you doing?
I know.
You got to get your characters leveled up before the new guys pop in.
Yeah.
Get them all to 100. Is that the goal?
Yeah.
If that's your goal, go for it.
No, yeah. Just stay tuned.
Oh yeah. Sounds like he's gonna rob something or something like that. Let's see. So yeah, and then that's what I forgot to plug is we're gonna do a tier ranking. I'm not sure when it's gonna exactly release, but we're gonna play with the characters for probably about a week. So probably I'd say a week after Cyclops of Colossus. We're trying to, I think, record at the same time as it.
Yeah.
So sometime in that span, the next 2 weeks, the first 2 weeks of September, we're gonna do one kind of like a mini review of Colossus and Cyclops, go how to play with them. But we're gonna do a tier ranking. If you look back at our old episode we did before the game launch of like who we were most excited for, at least kind of what we're doing today with the Phase 4, we're going to do that now with the actual characters who we played and, those S tier, those top 5, stuff like that, who's at the bottom, so.
Doctor Strange.
Wow, spoiler. Yeah. Yeah, anything else on Marvel Ultimate Alliance?
Yeah, that's pretty much all the news. I'm just definitely excited to see what kind of costumes they throw in next.
Yeah.
Like, I'd love to, as much as I'm hating on Doctor Strange, if they throw the Blue Mage in there, like, that could sway me, or the OG, the OG Hawkeye, or...
Yeah.
I think that's a big possibility now, because if they're going for fan favorites, that OG Hawkeye one is. So I think, I almost think that's guaranteed, in my opinion. I think that is. I think War Machine is guaranteed.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, we should probably... Yeah, I'll have to think about, but those are just two at my top of my head. Like Captain America...
I'd like to see the OG Scarlet Witch with, like, the pink, I guess, like, leggings and stuff, and then the red suit. That one's pretty nice as well.
I'm trying to think what
The Thor one that Dylan loves.
The fucking... horse head
thing. Beta Ray Bill. Beta Ray Bill is probably a good chance because that character is so popular.
Yeah.
Cap, I'm just trying to think what they could do. Maybe they could get US Agent. He's making he's coming in the show.
I wonder if
I imagine it'd be like the World War II helmet or whatever.
Yeah, I did never like those.
I really wonder if they will do something like you said, a War Machine. Like, what if they do like Lady Loki or I don't know, stuff like that.
Yeah, there's Kid Loki in there. Yeah, I think I would prefer
even like some MCU costumes would be cool for like Gamora or Thanos or something.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Yeah, I think like even with Cap, if I didn't get the World War II one, I'd want just the classic like really cheesy comic when he has like the winged ears sticking out. Like I'd prefer that because the World War II one, like it's fun, but it's always the same thing. It's him in a coat. He has a helmet on. He has like the shield that's like looks as a shield. But if I had to pick or if I had to guess, you're probably right because every game has had the World War II. It's like okay, here we go.
Safe bet.
To do, I guess.
Like I'm just trying to think what else they would be unless they're like we're making the end game one, but I don't know what the rights are to that sort of deal. But if they could make the end game one, that would be cool
sick.
Because this costume is kind of looking like Chris Evans' Cap already, but the end game one is like has the scales, everything like that. So
just his hair and his beard.
Oh yeah, maybe that bearded Captain America.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's tons of possibilities with all these. So that's exciting.
Yeah, now the door is cracked wide open, so that's pretty exciting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We ready to crack the door open on the Phase 4? So what we're doing is, because, our Lord and Savior Kevin Feige, I'm a Feige fighter, he has said that these Marvel TV shows and movies are all in Phase 4. So we've talked about them. We've been waiting to do this cast. We want to wait till after D23. So we got all the details we possibly can before we start getting previews and stuff like that. We are going to rank from excited to least
that works.
From least excitement to excited
of
what we are looking forward to in the Phase 4. So, and we're mixing the movies and TV shows because, we could separate them, but that's not as fun. It's fun to decide. Before we all go, I'm going to read off the list of Taylor the Madman Field, and he actually gave me some reasoning for some of these.
There should be 13, right?
There's 13, yeah. We're all in sync. Yeah. I remember the very first rankings that me, Dylan, and Taylor did for the MCU. There's at one point we were talking about like Stan Lee cameos, and we all had a different number, and I was like, oh, shit. We really screwed this one up. Or I think it was villain. So I'm trying to get Taylor's list here. And then if I can, I didn't prepare for this, but maybe I'm going to try and give an average. Because I always say we'll do an average, but then it's always off cast. So I'm going to see if I can try and do it on cast.
Okay, that's a good idea.
Let's see. Taylor just dropped so many stupid gifts. It pushes up the conversation,
In your private chat, he's dropping gifts. Yeah.
So here we go.
Gifts in the private chat, risky move.
So I want to ask you guys, what do you think his most excited is, and then what do you think his least excited is?
I'm gonna say his most excited is Doctor Strange.
Okay.
Or possibly Thor. But I'll stick with Doctor Strange. Go ahead.
No, okay. I'll let you finish. I'm sorry for butting in.
No, I got to think about it. So go ahead. Okay. Please.
I think his most excited is the Eternals.
Okay.
And then I think
that's a bold claim.
And then I think his least favorite is Black Widow.
Really? I'm going to say his least excited is She-Hulk.
Okay.
Or Miss Marvel.
When I would have
Any other.
guessed, because I would have guessed Miss Marvel for sure, and I would have thought maybe Doctor Strange. But so here you go. I'm going from the bottom to the top. We'll react, and then I will give him. He gave me some reason. So yeah. This is a Taylor reaction. Yeah. And he wanted to be here, but we've been all busy. We're moving. He has school stuff like that.
Hey,
So
you guys killed it with some Star Wars yesterday. So.
yeah. We got 2 casts up there for you. So Taylor makes time when he can. So his least.
Also, big shout out to Taylor for Comic Con. Just going. We did Comic Con.
You as well.
He put so much work into that. I just showed up, honestly. But Taylor put so much effort into that, so that was awesome.
And all you guys got him sick out there. So yeah,
that too.
His least excited is Eternals. He's looking least forward to Eternals. No, you put most.
I know. I was snapping in disarray.
Damn.
So here's
that was a really risky pick.
Here's his list: Eternals, Hawkeye, What If, Black Widow, WandaVision, Miss Marvel, Loki, She-Hulk, Doctor Strange of the Multiverse, Thor: Love and Thunder, Shang-Chi, and Moon Knight at number 1. So
Moon Knight is a good pick. The rest of that is just wild.
So the reason
really wild.
The reason all those ones are down below, like WandaVision, all that stuff. He said he's excited more for the new stuff, and that's why he put it down there. And then I did ask about Eternals, why then if that's new, and he's like, well, I just don't know enough about that to really get excited. And then I did ask him because I was surprised how come Strange is below Thor. What did he say? And Thor, it's because a lot of that Ragnarok vibe is sticking with me, and I'm also just super hyped to see Portman back. So I'm excited to see Portman back, but I'm not. I wouldn't say hyped.
He's a Dark World apologist for sure.
He is. And then I did ask why is She-Hulk so high, because he had a dead in the middle. He just said
that is a big surprise.
I'm just super curious to see how the dynamic plays, and I always wanted more Hulk characters, like even Red Hulk, and that makes sense because he's always talked about like Hulk and wanting people and stuff like that.
He likes badass characters.
Oh yeah, so that's his list right there. So
okay, I respect that.
Yeah,
I threw Eternals number 1 just because I feel like Taylor just has wild picks. So
for your list.
Yeah,
okay.
No, for him.
What?
Like my guess.
Oh,
for his
right.
list.
I meant I screwed up.
Yeah.
But first when you said I just threw it, I'm like, wow, that's your number 1.
And I almost feel like everything that Travis just read off in terms of like his justifications, like I almost feel like Eternals maybe should be in there. I don't know.
We said new stuff, right?
New stuff, like a new. Like, I just want to see what they do with it. Like I'm kind of curious for like a prequel that has like 1 million characters, but apparently not him.
Okay, so I'll go first because I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna try and put the numbers beside, so at the end I can do some.
Are you going your whole list?
No. I'm gonna one
13,
by one. 13, 13, because then I can write it down and then I'll try and have an average by end and give us what we're most excited for. I'll even include Taylor. So number 3, I'll preface this with 2 things. One, this is like Endgame. This is the buffet effect. Feige and Marvel and company. They got my trust. I trust them with all these. I don't think any of these are going to be good. I don't think.
Damn.
I don't think any of these are going to be a bomb. I think they're all going to be good, capitalized good. So this is like, this might be the cast for you guys, people that if you think we're Marvel shills or we talk too kindly of them. I'm going to give some negatives for some stuff that I'm excited for all this just because the track record. I'm excited to dive deep in the Marvel world. But at a buffet, when you eat a bunch of stuff, there's going to be something that's still at the bottom of the list. No matter how much you like it, it might be at the bottom. The same thing when we talked about the MCU rankings when we did the films. Check out that. We ranked every movie. I like to love all those movies, but there's still ones at the bottom. So, and I will say because it's in Phase 5, it's not on the list. But if Blade was on this list, that's auto number 1 for me because Blade coming back
would make an appearance in my top 5 without a doubt.
Blade come back is just wild, and the fact that Mahershala Ali's playing him, that can be number 1 for me without even having a cast, a director, or anything. But that's Phase 5, so there's a spoiler for Phase 5 rings. But I'm going first. Number 13 for me is Eternals. I just don't have... excuse me. One, I've never read the comic books. 2, just so far what I've heard about this film, nothing has excited me but the cast so far. I think they got a great stacked cast. Jolie, Kumail Nanjiani is one of my favorite actors right now, so that's why I'm still excited. But I don't have much interest in these are guys that have even created mutants in the past, but I just don't have much excited of like gods or semi-like gods that are all together, that are real. They're already like, they're more powerful than the Avengers. And I'm like, we already have enough problems sometimes with Captain Marvel being like, how is she going to factor in the future with her being so powerful? I don't know if we need these gods. I do have a wondering if it's going to be like Rogue One, where they're going to die, a lot of them, because it's a prequel. They said tons of years in the past. So I think we might lose a lot. So that could help. But Kit Harington being as Black Knight, same thing. I'm not like a massive Black Knight fan, so I don't know. This is one that I'm going to see because it has the Marvel tag, and it's, like I said, the team that I trust. But nothing's really got my gears going and go away. Even when they showed off that concept art for all the costumes,
right.
It looked very, I'm sure they look good, but they all just they all have the same costume, but it's like a little different design and a different color. I'm like, all right, just nothing's really got me so far. I've heard good things about the directors, but I haven't seen any of her work. So this is one that I'm hoping will be kind of like Guardians, where I had no idea about. I'll see it, then after, I love that. It's one of my favorites. But that was the same way with Guardians. But this is the difference. I don't know what I thought about Guardians back then because I wasn't podcasting. But I'm not saying, this is gonna bomb and this is gonna ruin the MCU and this is gonna be their first flop. No, it's still gonna do good. It has that Marvel tag. But I just don't got any excited for my Eternals right now. So I can agree with Taylor or Phil on that.
Eternals, bottom of two people's list, maybe 3, but not mine.
Ooh.
Not mine. I am going to put Shang-Chi at the very bottom. To me, Shang-Chi, from my, I will admit, unexperienced perspective, I don't know this character. To me, it seems like a discount Iron Fist. Okay?
Whoa.
And I really like Iron Fist.
He's the master of Kung Fu.
Cool.
But you know anything about Kung Fu?
I don't know very much about Kung Fu. I'm gonna be honest with you. I like Iron Fist. I've always liked his costume, and as much as there's tons of problems with the TV show recently, I still like that character and I still like that show overall. So to me, there's just nothing I've heard yet on this character that's got me into it. Now, I'm sure this could change. I'm sure that this character is, of everything announced so far for Phase 4, I think this is definitely the least known. Maybe Eternals.
I agree with you on that. I think Eternals has, because even now Black Knight is not a super popular character, but in the 90s he was an Avengers member. Mm-hmm. So he's still in the comic book community. I know who Black Knight was saying She and Eternals. I was like, I think I've heard them mentioned here or there, but I've not known that much about them. So I could subscribe to that he's lower tier than those guys even.
So I guess the reason I bring that up is I think they'll probably compensate that by having some other MCU characters maybe in that movie, whether it's a bigger role or just something to put in a trailer to get people to go to the theater. I'm not sure. So I'm sure they'll do something interesting and fun with it, just because, as Travis said, they just have such a good track record. It's been so many years of just making consistently pretty good movies at the very least. So this is the only one I would say right now that I'm not. Maybe this and a couple other one, my 12 and 11 slot are probably the ones I'm not super excited for yet, but I'm sure that could change. But as of right now, Shang-Chi just got nothing going for it.
And I think with all these movies, for Shang-Chi, for you, or Eternals, all it takes is one good trailer to be like, okay, I get it. Yeah. I'm in. This looks exciting. So
it seems so far away at this point in time, especially since we haven't seen a trailer or anything that, right?
And they're not even close to filming right now.
And so. I don't even know much about the production of that. I know the main actor was cast, and he's I don't know if he's Vancouver. He's Canadian. He's Canadian, right? So that's cool, and he's a lesser unknown actor. So that could be sweet. But that's the only thing I don't know anything about the writers or directors or anything.
Mandarin's coming back. We know that. The real Mandarin, remember?
Right.
And I guess I should say, because remember, it's Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. So kind of that group that was an Iron Man. But
to be honest, I forgot about that. That's
there you go.
I haven't really recalled too much information on it yet. So
boom.
Cool. So 2 people had Eternals as their last pick, as well as 2 people had Shang-Chi
as
the last on their
wow.
pick. Yeah, let's go, Dylan. No, basically...
Racists.
Hey, come on.
Come on now.
It's just, come on. You can't do that. I make a joke on Taylor, and everyone's like, oh, yeah, you sexist. And then you guys, oh, wait, hey, no, it's all...
It's because we're here to defend ourselves.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
No, but basically everything that Dylan said, I never saw Iron Fist, so I really don't know anything to do with those, I don't know, that world.
Kung Fu,
the Kung Fu world. All I know is
really strong fists.
Yeah.
So I really have no idea who this character is or how he fits into the Marvel universe or anything like that. But like Travis said, maybe one awesome trailer just changes my mind on that stuff.
All it takes.
The most experience I have with Kung Fu is with a panda, and I absolutely love those movies. So I think this will be a little bit different.
Let's go Jack Black.
Yeah, they don't have Jack. If they have Jack Black on that cast, I'm in.
I'm down for a villain role. Yeah, let's do it.
Would your hype go up if they announced Kung Fu Panda was in it?
Absolutely. 10 out of 10. If it's animated like that, fuck yeah, I'd be in. I don't know how that would link to Marvel.
Yeah. And for you,
it's a different dimension.
For Disney buys it out.
For Dylan and Iron Fist fans, what if they announced Warren Meacham was in this show?
I would love it, probably.
Wow.
It would jump up at least 2 slots on my list. Warren Meacham, great character.
Well, I will follow you guys because my number 12 is Shang-Chi, kind of for the exact same reason you guys did. I think all these movies are the Eternals. I'm kind of iffy on because we've already done space, but this seems like we're gonna do godly space, so fine. This one I understand why they're doing. They're gonna do like another kind of international movie. It's gonna be kung fu, Asian lead, so we're hitting a lot new demographics, a lot new territories they've never done in Marvel, so that's a good thing. I just I don't know the character that well, and so far from what I've heard, it doesn't excite me. Mandarin being in it is exciting, but at the same time, I would have liked the real Mandarin being in it when Tony Stark was around. So it's like, and he does have ties to this character. I'm pretty sure he's Shang-Chi's father, or he's something sort of like that, a father figure. I could be wrong, but that's what I mean. I'll have to read up and look into it, but could be good, could be one, and that's sometimes those are the best. Like this in Eternals, when you have, for me, less hype, you have less expectations, and you're just going in like, okay, surprise me, and then if it does, fantastic. So number 12 for me is Shang-Chi.
Okay, my number 12, I'm going to put the Eternals, number 12. Okay.
Oh, okay.
For me, this one comes down to, I guess just, Guardians, I didn't know anything about that before it came out. I didn't know who these characters are. I don't remember if I saw that movie in theaters or I watched it on Netflix or something, but it was clear that it was just like a fun, colorful adventure with some really fun music that I really like personally. So it just like was tailored to everything I really like anyway. Eternals on the other end, once again it's in space doing some stuff. There's a lot of new characters that are going to get introduced. But from what I've seen, it seems like it's going to be like a more serious movie, which I don't think is a bad thing, but I think it might be tricky to achieve that with so many characters. I mean,
it's a lot.
I don't know how big these a lot of these characters are.
True.
They could have a quite small role. But then you might not be getting the like kind of depth that you want. Mm-hmm. So right now it's just a very unknown variable, and I wouldn't say I'm worried about it. It's just because I have that faith there. But
Dylan is gonna fail. Feige's ruining Marvel.
I don't know. It's gonna be a tricky movie to pull off, I guess.
Yeah.
And the cast, like, there definitely is some bigger actors there, but none. I would say that I'm like huge on. Like, I've seen a little bit of Game of Thrones, so I know a little bit about Kit Harington, but I'm not. It's not like seeing one of those actors on screen just sells the movie for me.
Angelina, big fan of her.
Medium fan.
Okay.
I guess I just haven't seen much of her stuff. Like, I've seen Wanted. Yeah. Which is probably not like
I hope she's
her prime role
in this movie.
same character.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just need to hear more on that one.
Fair enough.
About the story, but what it's like. Cool. Or maybe I should do some research. I don't know.
I'll piggyback on that. I want to put Eternals here as well. Let's go, Dylan.
Yikes. I'll tell you one thing. That one's going to be last place on our list. The average.
Eternals?
Mathematically, it's already there.
Yeah, if Taylor has it last,
I mean,
we had no hope.
Taylor has Shang-Chi at like second, so that already is going to go up the list.
Yeah, he is at a 2.
The thing with like Shang-Chi and stuff is I have I at least know that he's from like reference in Iron Fist or something like that.
It's that world, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but like Eternals, I don't know like any of these characters. I've never heard of Black Knight. I've never heard of any of this stuff. The one thing that I'm kind of excited for is just see like these different types of actors, because just seeing like I think it was just like the panel of them in front of like their concept art for their costumes. I recognize a lot of those actors, so like all of them on the same screen. Hopefully it's great.
Hopefully,
a big keyword. And but yeah, I've definitely. I don't know. It's weird because I'm almost getting like a Green Lantern vibe from this, where like there's so many of these like characters that are like similar in power that like they're like the Eternal Force or kind of like the Green Lantern Force. I don't know. It's just something I was kind of linking the two together. And last Green Lantern movie I saw, unfortunately, it was a thumbs down for me.
Unfortunately, the one and only Green Lantern movie. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it's just a big question mark right now, and
hopefully the CGI isn't as bad as Green Lantern.
No, definitely not. I mean, it is Marvel, so they have that going for them, so that is a plus.
They got the Disney bucks, yeah.
I don't know. It's just a big question mark for me right now on that movie, and just what they do with it. And you said it's a prequel?
Oh yeah, they've said it takes place like thousands of years before, so that actually did get me more hope, because I was like, oh good, I don't gotta really worry like that's why I think a lot of them are going to die, because I would be like, where were all these fuckers during Endgame? But if lots of them die Rogue One style, it's kind of like, oh, okay, that's where they were, you know. Feige has said there's plans for Kit Harington going forward, so I could see maybe his character spinning off. Like I said, Black Knight was a member of the Avengers, so maybe he will be a member. It makes sense. He's Kit Harington, bigger star. So, and Black Knight go back and forth because he does have a sword, but he also has like sometimes like a lightsaber sword.
Let's go. Star Wars crossover.
I don't really want that. They can't do that. Remember, Captain America's like, I'll go home and watch those Star Wars movies, fuckers. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? What if in 5 years, for some reason, Disney went bankrupt? It's like, you know what's going to only save us? A Marvel and Disney crossover with Star Wars. Like, jerks.
Feige killed it.
Yeah.
Confirmed.
You done on Eternals there?
I am, no more to say on
so those two were the ones that I'm not excited for, but like I said, I'll give the benefit of the doubt because Marvel, like I said, there's always level of excitement, but the least excited, I feel bad trashing them, but not that much going for them. These next two I'm excited for, but I don't have no actresses or actors, I have no writers, I have no showrunners, so that's why they're so low. I need something, it's something like the casting show for Star Wars. I'm not a big fan of that show, I didn't know, I haven't seen it yet, but the announcement, like, I don't really need this, but then they say, hey, the Americans are running it, the guys that did that. I go, okay, that's one of my favorite shows all the time. So that got my hype up. So for this, that's why I'm going. It was a toss up, but I'm going Miss Marvel at number 11. Just for that fact, I'm very excited for that character, but I just don't know enough. I don't know who's playing her. I don't know. I guess I do know who's show running Miss Marvel. They're doing some Hulu series. I think it's 4 Weddings and a Funeral, but I've never watched that. I've heard good things about it, but like I said, I have no reference point to this, and you'll hear who my number 10 is. I just chose that one because I'm a little bit more interested in it, but I'm excited for that. I think it's a good way to introduce her. She's going to go to the films. I think we will see a Captain Marvel cameo in this because, like, I hate the fact that we didn't talk about this. They announced Black Panther's coming out 2022. That's so long. I get that he was in the Avengers movies, but that's 4 years after his first movie. That's ridiculous. And for me, as someone that like Black Panther's in my top 3, I think, top 3 or top 5 at least, one of my favorite comic book movies, it's just like, that's a long time to wait, you know? So I think Captain Marvel will also be 2022. So that's why I feel they'll maybe get her cameo in there, kind of like bridge the gap of like, oh, here she's around somewhere, because Miss Marvel's a huge fan. So I'm excited. This is what I'm excited for because I like that character, and I think there's lots of potential. Same thing, different demographic, different type of fan base, and also Spider-Man might be gone, so you need a younger hero. You need that teen demographic. So same thing as Shang-Chi, lots of demographics. So number 11 for me.
What's the age of that character supposed to be?
I think, because obviously she's aged, I think usually like 16 to 20. Yeah. 16,
so like a Tom
Holland you could even thing, right? You could even do like 14 to 20 somewhere in there. So I think they could get a 18-year-old playing like I'm 15, you know, but that kind of same thing. Tom Holland.
I'm 15.
That's the
hello,
audition.
fellow kids.
Yeah,
yeah, seriously.
Steve Buscemi in there.
Steve Buscemi as Kamala Khan, and
that would be outrage.
Oh yeah,
that would be outrage.
Get a 60-year-old white man to play Kamala Khan. Everybody would lose their fucking shit.
Foggy's like, don't worry, guys.
How many BuzzFeed articles would you see? Yeah. So Miss Marvel at 11 for me.
Yeah, I think those two bottom picks made sense, but I think from here on out, our lists are probably going to vary quite a bit. My number 11. So this is kind of I had like a bottom 3. These are the ones I'm least excited for. This one's going to be She-Hulk.
Shulk.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. You know, there's a lot of these shows obviously that just got announced the other day. Like, you know, between this Moon Knight and Miss Marvel, like we don't know anything about them other than like we don't even know if they're like
it's coming.
Yeah, like the title. I don't even know if that's the full title. It's just a cool logo to look at. So it's just based off what I know about these characters, which admittedly I don't know a ton about any of these characters. Like the most I know about Miss Marvel and Moon Knight is from like Ultimate Alliance, which is not the best place to get these characters' origins. I don't know very much about She-Hulk. You know, me and Travis were talking the other day, and apparently she's like a lawyer, and there's like a lawyer storyline.
Yeah, Bruce Banner's cousin.
I have a preferred lawyer in the Marvel world, and let's just say he can't see very well.
So what if I told you, because they said 2 years till they start using those characters again. She's in the law world, and also we don't know this now, but I'm saying Feige comes to you and says, hey Dylan, I don't want to let anyone else know, but Matt Murdock's going to appear in the show. Where does that put? Like, I'm not saying you don't need a good number, but that would same thing boost it quite a bit, right?
Oh, that boosts at least 4 slots.
I think they might use. I think not Daredevil, but I think Matt Murdock might be in the show because this show will definitely be. Those other shows, they don't have dates for those, but the other ones were 2021. We're 2019, so if her show comes out 2022,
it's a long time. Yeah.
That's 3 years. So that means those Netflix characters are up for grabs. So I think we're gonna see Matt Murdock get introduced in this show. I really do.
That could be cool.
I don't know if it's Charlie Cox, but.
Yeah, I don't. I'm picturing like Hawkeye. Don't give me hope.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. I don't think so. But Matt Murdock, I think it's gonna happen.
I think there's an interesting dynamic here where it's once again Hulk can't have a solo movie, so this is a place that they could throw him in and get some character development there, which I think has been sorely lacking from Hulk in the last few movies. Like since they can't do a solo movie of him, a lot of his character development just gets skipped over, and I think that's kind of been unfortunate. So if they put him in the show as like maybe not a co-leading role or something, but he's just in there for a couple episodes or something, I think that's a great way to dive into that character more, which I think is really needed. So that could be fun, but even still, like just because the character of Hulk has been like, I guess he has development, but you miss a lot of the crucial bits. I'm not even just super hyped on that character's story anymore. I mean, I love watching the Hulk destroy some stuff, and I'm sure it'll be fun to watch She-Hulk do that as well. But as of right now, I think I need a couple more. Yeah, maybe a character drop, whether it's a Daredevil or some other character in the world.
Or casting can even change it, right? This actress
could very much do it. Yeah, throw Mackenzie Davis in the She-Hulk role.
Oh my
I'm
god,
fucking there. Let's do it.
Yeah, there's a lot of and the good thing with this, I don't think you have to make. She doesn't have to be a white character, black character. Like she's gonna turn green eventually. So you can any actress is on the table.
Zoe Saldana to do it as well. She loves being blue and green characters.
Yeah, you can get any actress pretty much is on the table for this because I imagine she's gonna be CGI. They haven't clarified because there is 2 versions when I started looking into it. As there's one that is Jennifer Walters and then can be She-Hulk, and then there's one where she's just stuck at She-Hulk. So I would predict they're gonna.
That's like the more popular one, isn't that? Where she like it's a transformation that she can't.
Yeah, it's just permanent.
Undo.
Yeah. I think there's a chance for budget they might make it the Jennifer Walters back and forth.
I don't think she'll be full CGI like Hulk is, because she's not that big.
She's pretty big. She gets pretty girthy.
Well,
she's not Hulk big, but she's like
a bodybuilder.
I'd say she's the size.
Hulk is like 12 feet tall.
Yeah, I'd say she's like 2 times the size of The Rock, though. And there's no actress that
really
100%. Really? I'll get an image.
Not the She-Hulk that I've seen.
But
I know I have seen. Isn't the She-Hulk right now in comics? Isn't she like like Hulk sized, like actually just massive? Like
she
Kingpin?
might be. I don't know.
I'm talking like 300.
All my point is that other than unless you go get a female bodybuilder, I don't think there's any actress that has her frame. Right. I think they're going to CGI that She-Hulk. I really do.
Okay. We'll see. I'm curious now.
That is interesting.
Yeah, like look at her right there. She's massive.
Yeah, but then look at the one image below.
I know, but that's what I mean. Like
you just cherry picked one picture. I can cherry pick one as well.
This is from like the 80s. This is when she first started.
Go down again. There's another one right there.
Where? But then I
can't see your phone.
But then right there, there's another big one. There's lots of them. So either way, here's
right there. Look at that. Boom.
Okay, yeah. My point is, no matter what's gonna happen, She-Hulk will be animated. I guarantee you.
I guess what. Maybe one question could be how much Hulk is in there, because if you were gonna have both of them in it quite a bit, it might be jarring, right? If one of them is CGI and one's non-CGI, especially if they're trying to emulate the same hue of green. Yeah. So perhaps that is the way to do it, but. Once again, just more questions than I have answers at this point, and I need some more answers.
Well, the good thing is we keep teasing it, but there's one run in particular I want us to read. We may or may not, wink, wink, that's why you listen to these podcasts. We've been talking about doing like a comic book club where we pick a storyline run of a character that has a movie or TV show coming up. We do that, and I've heard there's a really good run with Dan Slott and She-Hulk where Dr. Doom's in and stuff like that. So I've been looking at runs for us to read when that's like 2 years from now, but still I've been looking at stuff for us to read. So stay tuned. We might be announcing some new shows coming at 2020. So Kirkland, 11. Where are you going? I went Miss Marvel, he went She-Hulk. Is there any commonality, or are you changing it up?
I'm changing it up.
Oh, here we go.
Spoiler alert. And
here comes Moon Knight.
This one might be controversial. This one, I put number 11 my Wanda Vision.
Okay.
The reason why they're so low, I thought I was going to get more flag for that one, so it was a little...
I got to hear you out first.
I'm deeply hurt,
but... I got to hear you out first.
So... The reason why I have WandaVision on there is everything I've seen for it. It really has not got me excited. Like the little like photo that they had, or like the concept art with like the two of them. I was really uninterested in it. It seems like it's just gonna be like a love story. Or
what
something.
About the costume in the back though?
I'd have taken a look at it.
It's
Her
like a
shadow
shadow.
is in the same shape as the classic Scarlet Witch costume, so something funky's going on.
Yeah, just my guess for what it's gonna be is not very strong. I feel like it'll just be. I don't know. I'm not even gonna
Just
guess
give me a flag.
on the mic, but I've never really been like too interested in their relationship either. Like Scarlet Witch and Vision. I don't know. It's just never really like stuck with me and like been too impactful. The saddest part is obviously like when Vision dies. I think that was like the one time I kind of felt for the relationship. But like when they're like off in Sweden or whatever the hell they were, somewhere in Europe, I was just like, okay, I don't know. I just I never cared too much for their relationship. And then having like, is this gonna be a series or a movie?
Serious.
Yeah, I don't know. I like
You won't be watching.
everything on this list. I need to see a trailer because it'll
Right.
probably switch my whole list around depending on what the trailer looks like and who's directing it and all this stuff. But as of right now, it's definitely low on my excitement list.
Fair.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have much more to say. Excuse me. After this, I have She-Hulk next. Same thing as Miss Marvel. Same thing. No actress, no runners. I just give the quick bump because if I had a gun to my head of like what would I rather watch, Miss Marvel or She-Hulk, I guess I'd pick She-Hulk because Miss Marvel's gonna be in the movies, and She-Hulk just because I'm interested to see what they're gonna do there, and I think it could be a fun show. I don't know how long it's going to be. Obviously, all these are kind of up there. Some are 6, some are 8. But yeah, I think there's some fun opportunities there. That's where Bruce can pop in. So She-Hulk at number 10 for me.
Fair enough. All right, so right now I'm bumping up a tier. I have it in 3 tiers. I have my most excited,
Dylan's always a tier
my least
guy.
excited, and then these are just the middle of the pack. I'm really excited for all of these ones for some reason or another. But as Travis said earlier, something's got to be at the bottom, you know?
Yep.
So at the bottom, this is number 10, right? The big
Number
big one.
10.
I'm throwing Loki down here.
Ooh.
I'm dropping him low.
Low.
You know what? I am excited for the show, as I just said. But I don't know what it is. I feel like at first we heard that like Tom Hiddleston's not in it, and then he's in it, and then it's like him as a kid, then it's not. Like, I don't know. There's just been so much back and forth on it that I guess it's kind of been muddled in my mind. I don't even know what the show is going to be anymore. Is it going to be him in that alternate timeline after Endgame? Where
It
he
is.
just
They've
goes
confirmed
off?
that.
Okay.
They
that is
have
confirmed at this
confirmed
point?
that part at least. I don't know about what if they just turn. And he
That's
is
cool.
in it because there was an image that leaked of him like in some city in the past. So at least Tom Hiddleston, we know for a fact. Maybe there's some switches. Maybe one episode he's a kid, but for a fact he's at least acting in it. He's shot stuff for it. He's not just narrating, which
Right.
we were worried about for a while that he was just narrating, which would have been big bummer.
Yeah. I guess there's just nothing that has sold me on it yet. I think that will be a fun idea. It's kind of in the realm of like the what if, right? Which is kind of an interesting idea. The fact that they're doing a full TV series on it. I will definitely be watching this one, and I love my man Tom Hiddleston. But I think even in recent times, the appeal of Loki is kind of it's been going down for a few years, a couple of years maybe, and I don't know. I think this will be a good way to revive it, or at least close out that character. Who knows? But I don't know. Right now, it's kind of at the bottom of the other ones for me.
Fair enough.
Alrighty.
What's your
so
number
we
10?
are at number 10. My number 10, I put She-Hulk here.
All right.
The reason why she's a little bit above Wanda Vision is I'm just really excited to see like what they do with like a female Hulk. And I don't know, like I don't know too much about that character, but to my understanding, like she's a little more reserved and not as like wild as
Oh
Bruce.
yeah, for
Is that-
sure. She
yeah.
can get angry, but she's more composed.
Yeah, and I don't know. I'm excited to see just like how they play. And is this a movie or a TV
No,
show?
series.
Okay, yeah.
Everything. I think I don't know if they've ever come out and said, but as of right now, everything on Disney Plus is TV series. It might vary because I think Loki's for sure 6 episodes, but then I think we've heard Falcon and Winter Soldier's 8. So I think they're kind of depending on the story, but everything Disney Plus so far is a series of some sort,
Yeah.
a limited series.
I'm excited to see just like the play on like her being a lawyer. Might get some flack for not watching Daredevils because
Yeah.
I love me some superheroes and some lawyer rooms, but I feel like also just like the job of a lawyer, it can be pretty aggravating sometimes. So it'll be fun just seeing like I don't know if she just like transforms
That
or something.
induces the
Yeah,
rage.
exactly. I don't know. It's just I've already mentioned it, but everything on this list is just so many question marks because we have no idea like the
Yeah.
final product and what it looks like or
Mhm.
anything. Like we don't even know if she's animated or not. Obviously,
Yeah.
Travis is a big inkling that she is going to be animated.
She's like
we just don't know anything.
She's an animatronic.
Oh God, puppet.
Help me.
it's like stop motion.
Oh boy.
No,
We're doing
but
something new with this series.
yeah, and then like I think Travis mentioned, it'll just be awesome to see Bruce Banner on there and not attached to an Avengers
BB.
movie, because I feel like
Hopefully,
he's like that's like his prison. He can't get out of them. I'm not saying it's terrible, but he can't have his own movie. He's just stuck in the Avengers
Poor
world.
crying with all
Yeah,
those dollar bills.
Yeah, he's not confirmed in the show. I just think it has to be a good
Why would
one.
it not
Has
be?
to be.
Yeah.
They're cousins,
Yeah.
Has to happen.
So
Brothers.
I'm excited for that.
So I got...
Is that what you just said?
Which is funny. I did make a change to my rankings just a second ago when hearing about someone
fraudulent.
talking about something. But other than that, there's not... I will say, I should have said this at the beginning of the list. To me, if I had a gun to my head, if I had to pick between Disney Plus and the movies, I'd definitely be picking the Disney Plus right now. There's just one movie in my top 5, and that just squeaked in there now because I thought, I'm like, okay, sure, I could put that in there. But yeah, it's definitely the movies that for me are I'm excited for, but the TV shows are either characters I really like and I want to see expanded on more, or characters that are coming in new, like, maybe a Moon Knight we're going to talk about. But number 9 for me is Black Widow. I think this movie would be higher if it was not a prequel. If you're a long-time listener, I'm a big prequel hater. I think The Rise of Planet of the Apes and maybe the Indiana Jones. Other than that, there's not many great prequels out there. I don't think they really help that much, to be honest. And there's something like Obi-Wan that's coming up, and I think that's different because you got these 30 years in between. But when it's something so close to stuff, I don't know if it helps. And this is the same thing with this. This is in between Civil War and Infinity War, and I get there's a story there to tell, but at the same point, it's just clearly wasn't a story big enough for us to really care about, or I don't think it was a story that really affected her that much in the movies because she didn't bring it up. It didn't seem like she had changed too much between Civil War and Infinity War. She didn't mention of some sort of event in Endgame like, oh, and sometime this happened to me. I really thought differently. It was like, it seemed like the snap and the Avengers changed her, not so much this, and she has Florence Pugh is in there from Midsommar, and I'm excited for that because she's a great actress. But even then, if it's something like she's like a sister to her and she like turns on her, it's just like, okay, someone would have turned, like, people have turned on you in the past. Like, I don't know, other than I just feel like this is a movie that's kind of a little too late. I think they should have done it years ago. I think they should have done it in between Civil War and Infinity War. I just think it's a thing of back in the day, and that's why I get it. Back in the time, there was some divisive stuff going on with Disney, and some people didn't want to make a female superhero movie, and that's why this is happening now. I'm excited for things I've heard about that sounds spy-y. It sounds more like a spy movie, like a thriller instead of a Marvel movie, so that's exciting. But and also, I like ScarJo, but I don't love the Black Widow character in the MCU. She didn't even make my top 15 when we did our rankings. I think we've had our time there. I'm happy with it. I'm gonna see this movie. I hope it's great. It has a great cast. But yeah, number 9. That's why it's probably quite low.
Fair point. It hurts my soul once again.
Yeah, it does.
No, I'm just kidding.
It hurts my soul.
You know what? We're on number 9. I'm going to go with What If right about now. I think this show is going to be a lot of fun, and I hope it's one that maybe they just kind of release it on like a consistent basis, even if that's like just one episode a month or something, or maybe a couple, like 3 or 4 episodes every like few months. I don't know. I think it could be just a fun thing to keep that hype up in between, because like you could just do an infinite amounts of possibilities with it, and perhaps it'll be easier for them to accomplish it with the animation if they go with something a little bit simpler. So I'm pretty excited for this show. I think there's going to be some fun concepts, and I could see this one going up when we hear more like episode descriptions. But so far, like I guess like the Falcon or the zombie storyline where Cap's a zombie, or like Peggy Carter, those ones don't like cut to my core as like the most interesting ones. I want to see some other stuff instead, I guess. So for this one, it's a bit lower for me right now, but honestly, I think this one's going to be like one of the better things on Disney Plus, just because it could, if they go with like a consistent route. I think that's a fun way to go about it.
It's cool too, because they said that I believe they said that they're doing it for every like MCU movie, right?
Right. Yeah.
So I'm just excited for that. So your placement on it kind of hurts me in the soul. But
like I said,
Wanda Vision,
all this stuff I'm excited about.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. You have not after shit talking Wanda. Come on.
Alrighty, my number 9. I put Miss Marvel here. I was debating whether I wanted her lower or above She-Hulk, but when we got talking and just having like a I don't know, in my head canon on what I want this movie to be It is a movie, right? Or is it a TV show?
TV show.
Okay. For what I want this TV show to be is something similar to like what I got from like Spider-Man and like those movies, whereas it's more of like a almost like a teen type humor or like just
youth.
Like and like not
old people.
Yeah,
like,
and I feel like it'll be
no old people.
I feel like it'll be more like, again, this is probably a bold prediction, I'll probably be wrong, but I feel like it'll be like less like world ending stuff and more of just like everyday, just like fun type things. And that's what I really loved about the Spider-Man 2 movies. I almost said trilogy. But I don't know. I'm pretty hopeful, and I feel like if they get like a charismatic like young actress to play her, I feel like I could just love that actress, and it might just like carry the role, kind of like what happened to Tom Holland and how I just fell in love with him as that role. And hopefully it has the same effect. But it's just so low that because I have so many questions on like, even if I like, I don't know, I didn't really play Miss Marvel in like Ultimate Alliance, and I don't know. Obviously,
really
we don't.
Strong. Very, very strong.
Obviously, it doesn't like flesh out the character playing a game like that, but it just, I don't know. I don't really know what her origin story is or any of that stuff. I heard there might be a crossover Captain Marvel, so that might just hype me up because I absolutely love that character. So again, need a trailer to really get a structured list. But anyways, number 9, Miss Marvel. That's you, Travis.
That's me. Let's see here. Because I've been trying to like add in Taylor's list, so I keep getting lost. I look at his, I'm like, I don't have that there. What if? I've talked about this a lot. I'm very excited for this. This is I guess it's number 8 actually. Very excited for this show. Just going to be lots of fun, I really think. So that's why it's, I guess, lower, maybe not like top 5, but it's pretty high. It's higher than some feature films, higher than Black Widow. But yeah, I just think it could be a lot of fun. I liked the comic series, and I like this all time. I like shows that deal with alternate dimensions, alternate realities, like what would happen if you stepped on this bug, that sort of stuff. Like that speaks to what I'm into. So what if at number 8?
I'm going with Hawkeye here.
Wow.
What? Tell me about that reaction, huh? What's wrong?
I think
with
it's
this?
pretty low. I'm surprised that's not a top 5er, to be honest.
Really?
After Endgame, yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Bold.
Whoa.
I love my man Hawkeye. He's fun. He's a cool character. I'm excited for this show. But I don't even have a but. That's all it is. I guess there isn't anything that's selling it, like the concept, as much as the things above it. There isn't really anything that takes it down. I'm pretty excited for this one. So there's the most uninteresting explanation for why it's number 8. Boom.
That was great. My number 8. I actually had Hawkeye there, but I had to move him.
Wow.
He sniped his way up.
Here I put Falcon and Winter Soldier. I don't know. I feel like not having Cap in there, it's not the trifecta that I'd want, but it'll be interesting seeing those two on screen together. Maybe he's in it. Force Ghost.
It's always Force Ghost with you, isn't it?
It's the only type of ghost I like. But yeah, I believe Travis mentioned, probably not on cast, but just the look of Bucky, it kind of turned me off. Like I don't know, I just loved his hair, his long hair, and I feel like he will never look menacing again without that long hair.
He just looks like Sebastian Stan.
Yeah, he absolutely does. So yeah, I don't know. I like those two are great. I like them in the MCU, but they never really had like their moment to shine. So obviously having an emphasis on the two of them, it'll be awesome seeing like them actually getting their moment. And but yeah, it's not one that I'm losing sleep over because I can't wait for it to get here. But Travis looks to disagree with me.
Wow, these two to my left, ladies and gentlemen.
Travis disagreement with everything.
Oof.
But yeah, number 8, Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Oh boy. Number 7 for me is Loki. This is when I actually got bumped down while Dylan was talking about it. Because at the end of the day, I kind of forgot. I just see Loki and I jump on it like the fangirl I am, just like fucking Loki. But I do forget this is almost kind of in the vein of the What If show. It might be Loki on some fun adventures, Loki having a good time. You can go back to our Comic Con cast, me and Dylan do. I do have a theory that this Loki is going to get back into our main timeline. I really think that they're not done with him yet. They might do something, but so that intrigues there. But other than that, I just love Tom Hiddleston. I think there's a day you could be a case for him being the best villain of the MCU. He's just a talented actor, and it's a character that, even in comics, one of my favorite villains. So the fact, and I've always wanted for years, like, they got to make a Loki movie, So they're doing a TV show. So very excited. It hurt me to not put it in the top 5 because it was there, but I did think about it. I was like, this show could literally really affect nothing and just be kind of like a fun, almost like comedy show, right? So hopefully it does something, big, but if not, just fun seeing more Tom Hiddleston as Loki. And plus it's Loki from 2012, so he's still pretty villainous right now. So it's going to be exciting. Does he stay villainous, or what causes him to make the turn to be good again, So, and do we see a Thor cameo, because Thor in Avengers was looking for him and he is alive. So like he knows Loki's alive. So is there Chris Hemsworth cameo? There's a good chance. Like, is there Anthony Hopkins? Like, they could bring a lot of people back for the show as well. That's a good thing. Like, obviously, like Darcy and Jimmy Woo for Wanda Vision aren't big characters, but they've shown we're bringing actors back from these MCU movies. So there's always a chance. So yeah, Loki is my lucky number 7.
Lucky number 7. For me, it's going to be, shows to Kirkland's last pick. It's going to be Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Yeah,
the Winter Man.
Here's the reason why. The thing I'm most excited for in the show is to see my man Baron Zemo come back.
Hey,
because I love Civil War, still my favorite MCU movie. I really like that character. But the reason why it's a little bit lower is because I like Falcon, but I don't love him yet. Okay, there just hasn't been enough meat yet for me to be at that point.
That statement.
Now, I have full faith that I will love him a lot more after this movie, because this is going to be this is going to be his biggest story, obviously, of any of the movies, where he's kind of just a side character hanging out with Cap. But finally, he's going to get the time to shine. So I'm excited for that. But I think what brings it down is that I really just don't care about Bucky. You can tell that Marvel doesn't really care about him, because he's had a total of 45 seconds of screen time across the last 2 movies he's been in. And so because of that, I just don't care about him right now. So this show is really going to be important to bring that faith up, or at least, I don't know, just give me something to like latch onto with that character and see like a future with him, or maybe this will be like his last thing for a while. I'm not sure, but really he's just been so boring lately. He does nothing in Endgame or Infinity War, so I think that's why it's a little bit down there. But I think it shows that the fact that this is still above like a few other things, to me, it just shows that like I think this could be a really interesting story, mostly for Falcon. Yeah. Take that, Travis.
Take that, Travis. Yeah.
Bastards.
All right, number 7. Here I got Loki. Ever since he disappeared in Endgame, I was just like, man, I can't wait to find out what happens with him. And we gotta wait a few years, but I'll finally know. So that's exciting. And Loki's always just been a super interesting character to me, because I don't know. You take Thor Dark World out of the mix, and I don't really know his story. I don't really know, some of his reasons. I know he's just the god of mischief and trickery, but
sure is.
But what really made him become the god of mischief and
Dark World,
all that nefarious stuff? I don't know. There's just a lot of questions that I have about this. Whether it'll be like what Travis said, whether he turns good in it, or if he comes back into our timeline or all that stuff. So I don't know. And then I don't know, it'll be interesting seeing like his transition, because it's supposed to be like a young Loki.
No, it's supposed to, all they said it's the Loki that left Endgame.
Okay, so it could just be Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah, could be. He's filming it for sure, so yeah.
He's at least there on set.
Yeah. So many questions for all these movies and TV shows.
They should just get Matt Damon to do the whole thing.
Do the what?
Get Matt Damon to do it.
No, just Loki. He just comes out of the portal holding the Tesseract.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just Matt Damon. I'd be down, honestly.
I'd be down.
Loki's, or Tom Hiddleston's narrating it.
He does all the voiceovers.
Exactly what Travis was asking for. But yeah.
No.
Number 7, Loki. That was a half-ass answer, but
it's tricky. We don't have much. We have some info on these, but not tons. So.
It's gut feelings,
Yeah. A lot of gut.
I don't have a lot of gut.
Number 6 for me is Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
Fuck you.
Doctor Strange, easily one of the most overrated movies of Phase 3. I like that movie. It's just...
Is it really overrated? I feel like very few people love it.
As the way people even like it, I go, I don't know. Like the way you and Taylor talk about it, I go, I don't know. That shouldn't be that high. I get why they like it, but it's just for me. I remember at
the guy who likes Thor 1.
Yeah,
oh, that's a great movie. So I remember at the Comic Con panel when they were talking about this. The reasons I'm hyped for it is Scarlet Witch being in it. That's exciting. The title alone, Multiverse of Madness, like I just talked about with What Ifs. I'm a fan of Multiverse. I'm a fan of, oh man, like Ben Reilly is the clone, or like like Toby and Andrew coming to Spider-Man. Like, you've heard me talk about this stuff all the time. Days of Future Past. I love these just type of let's put stuff in a blender and let's just get fucking weird. The part that is struggling for me is I was not the biggest fan of Doctor Strange, and a big reason was the humor. And I remember Doctor Strange at the stage, Benedict Cumberbatch and the director were talking about it's going to be this dark movie, it's going to be a horror movie, blah, blah, blah. But they're like, but we're making sure the comedy from the first one's sticking around. Like, they really emphasized that. And I was like, oh, fuck. Because, one, I don't think every Marvel movie needs to be that comedic, but fine, if you want to do that, go ahead. But for me, the jokes in Doctor Strange do not land. All of them, like the Beyonce joke, anything he has going on with Wong. I don't think Benedict Cumberbatch is a master at pulling off that type of quippy humor. I think it's very dry humor. And I loved Doctor Strange in Infinity War and Endgame. So I'm hoping the parts we get in Endgame, I'm hoping we get that more serious seasoned Doctor Strange. But if it's similar to Doctor Strange 1, I think that humor just kind of cuts a lot of the tension. It was a very smart, clever movie, but I did not love his solo film, so that's why it's not in the top 5. So, and I really like that director. I love Sinister, so I'm hoping the sequel can improve upon that. Scarlet Witch being back is the reason. If Scarlet Witch was not, this would honestly be probably down where Black Widow is. It's Scarlet Witch raising up, and the title just like, oh, we're going to get weird and deal with multiverses. So, number 6 for me is Doctor Strange.
Solid pick. For me, it's going to be Black Widow. I really like Black Widow, one of my favorite characters in the MCU. I think ScarJo is great at that role. Travis brought up some good points of like whatever happened during this time period. Did it really affect her, or are they just kind of like shoehorning this in like they have done before with the MCU, just kind of retconning or saying that was always the plan, and then just was it really? You gotta ask yourself. I guess what I'm interested in with this movie is, to me, it kind of has to be how you close out the character. So I think there's going to be a lot more to it than just being like wedged in between those other two movies. I imagine we'll get like flashbacks or, I don't know, dream sequences or something that we get some more of like her backstory before all the MCU stuff, some stuff with her and Hawkeye, and find out what the fuck's going on with Budapest.
Let's go Budapest.
Budapest.
And I don't know, maybe some like tribute at the end or something that like segues into what happened with her character in Endgame. At least I would hope so, I guess. So I think that's what I'm excited for. Also the casting of, I can't.
Florence Pugh.
That's the one. She was amazing in Midsommar. Like, just instantly went up my list of actors to keep an eye on. She was phenomenal in that movie. So I'm really, really excited about that. And I think Taskmaster is a really cool character. And I'm excited to see him on the big screen, because I have very little history of that character. It's just a PS4 game where I was like, this guy's fucking interesting. Spider-Man PS4.
I don't know if it's a he anymore, to be honest.
Taskmaster?
They have not revealed who's playing. No, I know. I just don't. They've not revealed who's playing Taskmaster. So I think it's very strange. And I think there's a good chance Florence Pugh is Taskmaster.
Okay.
I think she's going to be, look out in that movie or in trailers. See if Florence Pugh and Taskmaster are going to be on screen at the same time. It's weird that we got Comic Con and D23 and they haven't told us who's playing Taskmaster. Like, I don't think there's anybody else from the past I would put in there. So that's why I think there's going to be some plot twist. So
could be someone from the past. That could be why they're hiding.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know who. Like, I'd really have to who? It's Peter Quill. But yeah, so look out for that. Just because I got.
Is that a Travis told you?
Wait,
are you gonna drop the hashtag?
I will after the first trailer. If I see a first trailer and I see Florence Pugh and Taskmaster, okay, no. But I still think there's a chance it's not the character. It could be a woman or something. I don't know. But it's just weird that they're being very silent, unless it's a huge actor.
I like that.
It's fucking Michael Fassbender under there.
That'd be pretty wild. Yeah. Just as Magneto, I mean, or that's how the X-Men crossover.
Sure, yeah, that's what I'll do. Yeah,
David Taskmaster does wear a lot of big armor, so it could make sense, right?
Mm-hmm. What'd you say, Kirkland?
David Harbour. He's
playing the Red Guardian. Yeah. He's Russia's version of Captain America.
Let's go Russia.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. The Guardian.
I thought you said something else. Number 6. I'm excited for that one. Yeah.
Number 6, I got Hawkeye here.
Hawkeye.
This character, probably up until Endgame, I really didn't care for this character much. I don't know what it was. He just didn't really stick with me. His little gadgets and the fact that he just kept getting mind control and stuff. I was just like, man, this guy's a weak little bitch. Damn. But the stuff that they showed in Endgame, it really like tore at my heartstrings. The sentimental stuff with his family and the little back and forth that he had with ScarJo's character, Black Widow. I don't know. He's just definitely grown on me. So I am excited for and this has to do with around fill in the blank for me.
Well, they're flashback to Ronan's, but it's after Endgame.
Yeah.
And that's, yeah.
So it'll be
And
stuff
Kate
to do with
Bishop, his
family.
apprentice, is
So-
going to be in the show as well.
Yeah.
Kate
Yeah.
Bishop. So
It's
is
his
that
Robin.
Is that his daughter?
Mhm.
No,
Isn't it?
no,
I thought
Kate
it
Bishop's
was.
not his daughter.
Didn't you
Nope.
say
In some
somewhere in the
storylines?
comics?
No,
they had
I've
that?
been saying this since the Endgame review. Everyone's been like, "Oh, they'll probably just use his daughter for the show." I went, "Nope, she's not an actress. It's just director's daughter." And they're getting a new actress for Kate Bishop. It's a new character. It's his Robin who takes over the
What if
mantle.
they CGI her to look
it
like
could be that
the
character
actor?
older.
What character? The daughter?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
His daughter is not Kate Bishop. They've said, Feige said it's Kate Bishop.
Yeah, but that could be a
changes her
stage
name.
name like Beyonce.
No, it's Kate Bishop. It's a new character.
Anyways,
Jeez Louise.
I'm pretty excited for that one. So shouts to Hawkeye. And
Clearly not excited enough. You don't know that Kate Bishop's not his daughter. So
I mean,
You know,
clearly.
Kate Bishop is not his daughter.
I'm more excited for the fact that this character was such like a low tier for me, and the fact that he just jumped up so much because of Endgame. It got my excitement.
shot for the stars.
Number
I'm
6,
excited for
though,
more.
is it that much?
Yeah, it's higher than WandaVision by a lot.
WandaVision.
Heyo, let's go to Travis for number 5.
All right. So we're at the top 5. Thor, Love and Thunder. I'm excited for this. I've always said Thor the Ragnarokin, not Dark Lord. Thor Ragnarok is one of my most rewatchable, the most entertaining MCU. But if you look at the story standpoint, it has quite a few problems, whether it's rushed through storylines, things you don't care about, like stuff going on with Asgard with the Executioner and Hela. And yeah, I think that sometimes the humor overrides the movie. So that's the thing, it's entertaining, but when I go down to brass tacks of is this good movie, good story, it can get hurt sometimes. Not a bad movie. I still really enjoy it. So we'll see what happens with this one. That's why it's only top 5. I love Taika and his humor, so we'll see what happens there. Natalie Portman coming back, that is the tipping scale of like, I have to see a trailer. And even then, I think I have to see the movie to really know if that's going to work or not. It's not that I have anything against Natalie Portman because she is a great actress. It's just I'm not that attached to the Jane character. I was never that attached to the Jane character. They still did that in the comics, but even less so in the movies. So I think it's going to be lots of fun. Him just, she has my ex has my hammer and stuff like that. And the other thing, this movie, if someone were to tell me this movie had the cancer storyline that Jane has, this would be maybe top 1, top 2, because I think that is a chance for Marvel to really get deep and do something really different. They did cancer with Peter's mom, so they've talked about it, but that was still only small. But the idea of Jane Foster having cancer, and every time she becomes Thor, all the radiation gets sucked out of her body, and she goes back to day 1 of having cancer, and it's still the worst. So every time she becomes Thor, she gets more cancer-ridden and just keeps dying. That is a really compelling story. And if you want to take a character that's nothing and you give that story to her, that's a big story right there. So if they do that, and I get a sense whether they announce it in trailers, my hype will go up. But if it's just, a fun, like my ex has a hammer and I got to talk to her and we're fighting bad guys, I don't know. That could be, who knows, but it's more comedy. And if they announce Beta Ray Bill, then my hype's a lot up more. So that's why early on stages need some more, but that's why it's top 5. I'm happy Hemsworth is coming back. It doesn't sound like it's a replacement film because Taika this week just said she is a Thor. She's not becoming the Thor. So I like that. And I think Guardians of the Galaxy will be in this movie as well. So that's always exciting. So number 5.
I love the Guardians of the Galaxy.
You do?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're cracking into top 5 with my pick is going to be Miss Marvel, so a lot higher than you guys. I'm really excited to just find out more about this character. I think it's a really interesting storyline that she kind of starts out as just like a fan of the Avengers, of these heroes, and then wants to kind of just like join up and become part of it. I think it's an interesting storyline, something different that I've seen from other Marvel characters. So I think from that perspective, I'm really curious to see how they do that, and I think the fact that this character they said is going to be in the movies as well, it makes me really curious how they're going to use that, like what they're going to do in that TV show. If there's going to be some other characters that pop up that she gets to meet, whether even maybe she's just like fangirling over someone, quickly.
Kind of like Paul Rudd.
Yeah, that could be a fun sequence. But I'm really excited to just like learn more about that character and know that that's like that character is going to end up in the movies, like probably due to whatever happens in this first season of this show. So I feel like there's going to be a lot of intrigue there, and I'm down to find out.
Groovy. That's good. Number 5.
Groovy.
My number 5, I got Doctor Strange here.
Strange.
Doctor Strange, the first movie, I wasn't the biggest fan of it. It's not like I hated it, but it didn't live up to my expectations. I had really high expectations after seeing those trailers. I don't know. I got really hyped, and it seemed very Inception-like, and I like those aspects of it. But I don't know, like the character wise, it didn't really like sell me on the Doctor Strange character. I don't know. It was just it didn't hit home for me. But hearing that this one it's got more like dark tones and I don't know, just seems a little creepier and like stuff like that. I am excited just to see like how that plays out, especially in a Marvel movie, because obviously they can't make it like a R-rated, just full on slasher film. But I'm excited to see just like how they play on kind of like mind games, because I feel like Doctor Strange has a lot to do with that stuff, and I don't know, madness. It's in the title. Yeah, the title's just got me wanting more. So that's my number 5, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
I'm glad it's in top 5. Unlike
some
people like don't put it in top 5.
Well, I want to be on the right side of history. So let's see here.
That's
number
subjective.
Number 4 for me is WandaVision. I'm very excited. I think Dylan might have it higher, but the reason I'm excited for this a lot more than other people, I think, that haven't read the comics, you gotta bring, and again, talking about this comic book club one, we'll definitely read as Tom King's Vision. I kind of have the idea of what they're going for. They're using the same font, and even them saying, oh, it's going to be a sitcom. With reading the comic and know what's coming and what it's kind of based off, I love that we're going to get this weird fake like Stepford Wives world that Wanda's bringing Vision back in, whether she's created a new Vision and she's going a little nuts, whether she's brought Vision back and he's malfunctioning so she has to give him some normalcy. I love what this is going to be, and I think this is going to be the most unique Disney Plus show, and I'm very excited for it. I like the Scarlet Witch character more and more. Vision, I think, has been very underserved in the movies. I think he's gotten to shine the last few, but really there's a lot more they could do with this character. And I know lots of people are hoping it's going to set up House of M. I don't know if it's going to do that, but if there is a chance, that's very exciting. So, yeah, number 4 for me. That show is just very intriguing. I think, like I said, be the most interesting one. I think because we're going to do reviews of these shows and we're going to do them weekly. I think that's going to be a show every week when an episode ends. We're going to be like, what the F, and we're going to have to dissect it and really like figure stuff out, where the other ones will just be stopping a bad guy, saving this person. This will be like, what is going on? Why is it so weird? Like, what, like, is this true? And like, even that poster of seeing Scarlet Witch like comic book costume in the back, that's very exciting. And even then, some people have speculated that maybe, and this they've said connects to Doctor Strange the movie, maybe she becomes the villain.
What's the order of that?
This comes out, then Doctor Strange.
Are they like one after another?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So awesome. I think, and some people could be right that theory, that she might be the villain of Doctor Strange, and that's very intriguing, and that's tough to do, because are you going to take a character that's been a good guy main character for us for a while? It's happened in comics, but that's a lot different medium. So can you make that work in a TV movie version? Even then, and that's why maybe she won't be the villain. If she's the villain, Doctor Strange, you gotta hope that everybody's seen that show, So there's just lots of balls in the air, and I think that's also exciting, because they've said Miss Marvel's gonna be in the movies, but I think that's easy to just like, she's in a movie now. They've said this directly ties into Doctor Strange, so this will be the first like testing ground to see how this goes, because if it's a success, they'll do that more likely or more often. If not, they'll go, really confuse our audience, let's like just do that loosely. But knowing Marvel, I think they'll kill it, and it's exciting time. So WandaVision at number 4. Cannot wait for that show.
Solid pick, my man. Solid pick. My number 4 is going to be different than that, though. It's going to be Thor, Love and Thunder. So, I don't care much for Portman's character in these MCU movies, because I really don't care much for, Thor 2 in particular is just not a good movie, and then Thor 1 is fine, I guess. It's not really that interesting to me. So I don't have a whole lot...
Top 10 MCU movie.
I don't have a whole lot of love built up for those movies, I guess, like those characters. And then, but that, that's why I switched, because Ragnarok was just such a different direction. Taika is hilarious, and he has a very unique sense of humor. I loved how colorful that movie is. I liked the storyline. It is a very full storyline. There's a lot that goes on, and I do agree that like when you watch it again, some of the story of it is like kind of weak, just because it is like, it's just so much to go over in the sense of one movie. And then it feels like it loses a bit, because it kind of gets undone with what happens in Infinity War. Like they save all these Asgardians, and like Thanos just kills all these Asgardians. It's like, okay, well, I guess what was the point of any of that? And then there is like some weird, like the Executioner character is not really my favorite. There's some weird stuff in there, because I think it is, bogged down by it. It is in some way have to follow up that those first 2 movies in some way. But I love Taika. He's such an interesting guy, and he's so funny. So I think that's why I'm interested in this one. And it sounds like this story, because Ragnarok really had to tie into like what was happening before and what was happening next, leading right into like Infinity War and Endgame, which are two very heavy movies. Whereas this, cracking into Phase 4, everything's like a clean slate in one sense. And I think Taika will probably get maybe a little bit more control, do what he wants. And I'd be down if there's, less action scenes and stuff, and it's just like more comedic focus, more character driven. And I guess we'll find out maybe what happens with like New Asgard, see some Valkyrie, like her character progression, maybe screw around and see what happens with some Guardian characters. What?
Korg.
Yeah, Korg is
and
great. Yeah, exactly. So I think there's just so much room here for this to be just a simple fun movie, and Taika can do that. He's proven that. So
yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, this is like the most known variable, I would say, of all of them.
Better stop talking. Yeah, I agree with you.
I mean, maybe Black Widow, because we actually have a lot of details on that.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Kirkland, go ahead. I didn't mean to.
Am I allowed to go now?
Bump in your way.
I'm sorry for cutting in. I also have Thor, Love and Thunder here.
You haven't ranked What If yet. Am I correct on that?
No, he did.
You did?
He was like 8th.
Are you allowed to just like butt in and just ask me where I'm putting my rankings?
Aren't you taking a list?
I am, but that's why I was adding them up.
So is he 2 numbers behind us?
I just didn't have his What If, so that's why I was wondering if he hadn't revealed it yet.
Wait, how are you doing this?
I have not revealed it.
He hasn't revealed it. Trust me.
It's supposed to be a surprise.
Okay, that's fine. It's fine.
Make a spreadsheet, my guy. What is this?
Oh, it's easy. It's easy. That's what it's called.
My number 4, Thor: Love and Thunder. I absolutely love Thor Ragnarok. It was just total like tone shift, I felt like, from the other Thor movies. It's just a lot more like comedy like focused, and I absolutely love what Taika did for it. I agreed completely with what Dylan said. It was colorful, and it just seemed like a fun movie. And I feel like if they follow, or if Taika follows like the same structure that he kind of did for that movie, there may be some people that, like, I don't know, they're not the biggest fans of that and they want to see more of like a deeper story and stuff. But for me, it was a fun movie, and it's totally one that I could just rewatch over and over again. And if I get that again with just some more interesting characters, whether it be like a new female Thor, and just see how they play on that stuff, I'm really excited to see what they do with that. Mm-hmm. And I've grown to just love Hemsworth and like his past movies. It's totally been a progression, because I remember seeing the first Thor and just
great movie, just
totally being like, this character, like, yeah, he's cool and he looks badass, but like he's nothing like deep cut for me. Like, it's not a character that I would hold in like my top list. Whereas now, after seeing Infinity War, after seeing like the emotional stuff that he went through in like Endgame and all that mental stuff, like, this character has grown so much in my books that I'm just so excited to see like the next movie. And Valkyrie, I've grown to really like that character, probably just because like I'm starting to really like that actress after watching Men in Black. You know,
they were great in that movie.
Yeah, they were. It was great chemistry.
Surrounded by a lot of trash, but
absolutely. But no, I like her and his chemistry that they have, and I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of Jane, but I hope that they give Natalie Portman some really like deep cut like character aggression.
Give her some fun stuff to do.
Character progression. There we go. We're killing it today here at the Geekverse podcast. Our wordplay is just...
It's a messy day. We're so sorry, but...
Word life. But I hope they... I don't know. Travis kind of got me excited, like talking about like the whole like potential cancer thing that they could play on her, because she's such a phenomenal actress, and I feel like if they gave someone like some super like hard like physical and mental struggle, I feel like she could just kill it, and I'd be totally down.
Short chops off.
Totally.
She's Academy Award winning actress.
Yeah. She's phenomenal. So I'm really excited for that one. I know it's kind of later down on the Phase 4. I think it's one of the last
It's
movies,
technically
right?
the last movie of Phase 4. It's 2021. So.
Holy shit.
So I'm really excited for it. So
that's crazy. Taika's busy being in Suicide Squad. With a massive role.
Yeah.
When's that movie come out? 2020?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're filming this. I think it might be early 2021, because they're filming next year and editing. So yeah, I think it's 2021.
They're filming this year, I thought.
No,
2019. This September.
Yeah, they are. So, but I guess, I'd have to look at that. They're filming at the beginning of this year into the next year. So, late 2022 or early 2021. You know what also is coming out 2021 is my top 3 pick, third pick, Hawkeye. I love Hawkeye. I always have. He's one of my favorite characters. But if you go back and see some of the movies, I was like a little disappointed. Ultron, they started giving some
You say
shine.
he misses the mark, you know.
But no, never does. The writers maybe, but then Civil War gives him a little bit more. But then what they did with Endgame, finally give my boy the love he deserves. I think everything about this show is great because I think you got three things. One, flashbacks on time with him being Ronin, so that's gonna be exciting to just see more of those scenes, see what he was doing during Endgame. I think that's gonna tie into the main plot. Two is at the end of that movie, he's feeling pretty guilty about Natasha sacrificing herself for him, about kind of the red on his ledger, all the people he killed. All the Avengers just said like he's kind of a monster now. So they really stress that, hey, this guy's really messed up. And then three, introducing Kate Bishop. She's a fun character. I know exactly the run where we're going to read the Matt Fraction run for this comic book because it's just about Hawkeye being a normal guy and figuring out like, what do I do? And they've kind of touched on this before, like, what do I do in a world with gods? And obviously he helped out in Endgame, so he's on the winning team, but there's still that thing of like, he is a normal dude, you know, and especially now in MCU, it's like after Endgame, all this, like he saw a lot of stuff, even more. Have to be like, what is, you know, he's been to space now, he's been through a lot, and he's just got his family back. He spent 5 years without his family. Those guys, for them, they were just gone for 5 minutes. So I just think from a character study thing, all of them could be that, but like if I look at the shows, like other than one, like Miss Marvel, I think it's going to be fun. She also going to be this law procedural drama. They all could be character studies, but I think this is going to be the most like looking at a person and seeing all the things he's went through and the damage that's been done to him. So, and I think Jeremy Renner getting 6 hours to finally show off his acting skills is, I cannot wait, because I thought we got to see the best acting skills of him in Endgame, being really emotional, a badass, comedic at times. He can just do it all. So I'm very excited. I'm a little disappointed that I think this will be the signing off for him. I think Kate Bishop will get the arrow, the bone arrow after this, but you know, it'll be a nice little send off, 6 hours or whatnot. So number 3. What's your problem over there?
I have no problem. I'm happy to talk about my top 3, which is...
You're laughing, you know.
I'm
very disrespectful.
Just one of the sentences you said there had a funny...
They're just laughing at their list. They're looking at like... Mark.
Number 3 for me is going to be Wanda Vision. You know, I'm a big Scarlet Witch fan, and I really like Vision as well. And I think the only problem you could really put against these characters is that since they've only ever been in Avengers movies, naturally those movies have 3 to 4 million characters in them, so you can't focus on everyone as much. So the fact that they're going to get a show which just focused on the two of them, I think that's going to be amazing. We're really going to get that like full development. We're going to find out what their relationship is really like, because it is this weird thing, just like this fully powered Infinity Stone powered magic mage lady with this robotic like combination of like 3 different minds and one. Like, it's a really, really strange scenario, but I think that's what makes it so interesting. Now, there is some weird stuff, like seeing the 2 actors from other MCU stuff that are going to be in here. Really strange picks, not what I was expecting, because I just wasn't expecting this show to have like a comedy focus, which it seems like it will now. So that is kind of weird, but it's not enough for me to throw up the red flag yet. I'm still really excited for it. And yeah, I think this will be weird. And I'm obviously, I mean, you know, spoiler alert, I haven't mentioned Doctor Strange yet because it's clearly very high up. So the fact that this is leading into that is very exciting to me. Yeah. I love magic.
Sweet. Alrighty. My number 3 here, I got Black Widow.
Oh,
nice.
Black Widow. Yeah, this character, she never really stood out for me too much, but again, it's kind of got like that Jeremy Renner like Hawkeye effect, where like just seeing her in like the last few movies, it's really just like solidified her spot up in there in my top tier rankings. And I'm just really excited to see, again, like as opposed to like a world ending movie, more of just like a spy type action pack led by Scarlet Joe. Like, even if it wasn't like Marvel based, even if it was just like another like I don't know, like movie kind of like Angelina's like Salt or something like that. It's just like or like a Jason Bourne type thing. I don't know. I really like those movies. I grew up watching a lot of them, so I'm just really excited to see this, especially since it's attached to Marvel, and just to see, I don't know, some unanswered questions that we didn't get, like in some gap period that we don't really know too much about what happened in there. Hopefully they touch upon Budapest. I think that'd be sweet. Yeah. I think it'd be sweet if Jeremy Renner was in this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows?
I think there's a chance.
Beggars can be choosers. Beggars can be choosers in
He's
my
not
world.
He's not going to be in Blade, I'll tell you that much.
No, I don't think so. I don't think
him?
Maybe Kate Bishop.
Maybe.
His daughter.
Helps hunt vampires.
But yeah, no, I'm actually really excited for this one, especially since it's like one of the first ones going to be coming out. I feel like I'm just more excited because it's I can like almost see it, and just I'm not too familiar with the Midsummer actress, whatever her name was.
Pugh.
So yeah, hearing you guys go off on about her, I'm pretty excited to see her in this. And then David Harbour, I've grown to love that guy from Stranger Things. So I think seeing him.
Rachel Weisz from The Mummy.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
I like her. So that'll be awesome.
She's gonna play the
Bump
villain.
cast.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this. Just some KGB trained badass. So yeah, let's go. Black Widow number 3.
I like it.
Number 2 for me is the Falcon and Winter Soldier, where it should be for everybody.
Wow.
But
that's really high.
Yeah, it's high for a good reason because you got Zemo coming back, one of the best MCU villains. You got some of the showrunners that had to do with John Wick, so that's a great franchise, very successful. And I think it just gives a chance. It is very successful, so big hit. So Dylan, don't deny facts. Yeah, I am very excited to see, especially now that they've announced U.S. Agent. I'm a big political person. And I think this show is going to hit a lot of those buttons. I think it's going to be this camp of, hey, this camp wants Sam Wilson as new Captain America, and some want this maybe psychopath, the super patriot, to be Captain America. And I like when we get in that. I think that's where Civil War was strongest, as far as it's a very political movie. And I think with that, I think the chemistry that Falcon and Bucky have already established is really good. I'm excited because I'm the same as Dylan as far as Bucky. He's not got that much shine, but kind of the same as Hawkeye. I think this is going to be the time we finally get to sit with him and him talk about, like he says in Civil War, he remembers killing all these people. So really get to see what he's doing and how he's faring and all this. Yeah, I don't like the look. I wish he still had the Winter Soldier look, but I get it. It's a progression of the character. Sharon Carter's coming back. I thought there was another person coming back. I know Zemo, but I thought there was someone else, so maybe I'm forgetting here. And then even then, just the fault of Captain America being gone. Obviously, I'm a little biased. That's one of my favorite characters, but I just think this show has a lot of potential, and I also think maybe next to Scarlet Witch and then Miss Marvel, I think this one's going to impact the movies the most, because I have a good feeling that I feel like Sam Wilson's Captain America will be in the Avengers, where a lot of these, like when we get into maybe a She-Hulk or Moon Knight, who knows, they might not make it to the movies right away, right? Where I think this is really going to establish, like, this is how he becomes the new Captain America, and this is why they chose him, because U.S. Agent is definitely going to go a little psycho. And anytime Zemo's back, and Zemo has the fucking costume, that's what's so exciting. Like, they're doing some fun stuff, and the other thing that makes me really excited is this is the first Marvel Disney Plus series, so I feel like they're going to go out of their way to make sure this is a kick-ass one. This is where I think you get a lot of cameos with Nick Fury, kind of those type of people, so very excited for this show. And I just become more and more of an Anthony Mackie fan. The more when I saw Winter Soldier, I'm like, oh yeah, I like him. And through Pain and Gain, through Black Mirror, through just other things I've seen him throughout the years, I really like him, and I think he's a strong pick to be the next Cap, or the flag bearer of Cap if he doesn't take on the name. So yeah, I am very excited for this show. Number 2.
Well said. I'll give you that. Is it a good pick? Well, that's for you
yeah,
to
of course
decide,
it is.
That's up for
the fans
debate.
agree.
That's subjective.
Number 2 for me is going to be The Night of the Moon.
So low.
Mysterious.
Yeah, really low.
Yeah, Moon Knight is just a wild character from, mostly my experience with it is quite minimal. But, I've heard Travis talk about this character a lot. I love the look of the character. I like that world, that Marvel Knight sort of
streets
aesthetic.
of New York, darkness.
So even though I don't know too much about this character, I think it just goes to show that, like, the fact that this is trumping all these other stuff that we've talked about is, like, yeah, this show is going to be great. The logo, I know that's maybe not much to go off, but it's a fantastic logo.
It is a great logo. Great font.
Yeah, I think what's so interesting about this show for me is that it's just like Miss Marvel and She-Hulk. Those are unexpected, but they fit with, like, the current MCU aesthetic. But Moon Knight is, like, just cracking up in this whole other world. Kind of like Blade. You could say Blade kind of does that first, but obviously this is going to be out before Blade is, obviously. So I think it's really exciting to see what they do with it, like the tone they take with the show. If it's just, like, fully serious and doesn't really have any of that MCU like comedy or, like, formulaic method, it could just be really dark and interesting. And it's just a big question mark, but a question mark that I'm very excited to watch.
I still, I'm going to one time strap Dylan down to a chair and make him watch the Batman animated series. Because whenever you talk about Marvel Knights and the darkness and what they do, that show is just primed. It's that is that show. That's Batman. He's in those streets of Gotham.
I think the thing with DC is, like, it has better villains than it has heroes for me.
Yeah.
And so maybe I'd like it, I guess.
I'm
under
saying
the right circumstance.
that's why you need to support Patreon, because I know if we're doing Batman the Animated Series as a retro and we're still doing our day jobs, Dylan's not going to be on board. But if we're doing this as a job, Dylan's going to be on board. That's secretly why I'm holding out not doing that series until I get Dylan on board. We'll do X-Men. You like those 90s, you like Spider-Man, you're going to like X-Men. It's that same crew. You know, it's like the Feige thing. It's all that team that made those, you know?
Sure.
Just saying, one day I'm going to get him. I'm going to get him. I almost got him. You know that, Batman fans.
I tried to read City of Owls or whatever it's called. Wasn't for me.
Court of Owls. But try it again. We'll try something else.
We'll try
Animated series. Yeah. We're going to try again.
Mr. Freeze, not my guy. Give me someone else.
Alrighty, my number 2. Here I have the What If series.
It's very high.
It is very high.
Yeah.
And let me explain myself,
I'm a
Travis.
fucking little anime nerd over there.
I am an extreme anime nerd. No, I just love animated like shows, whether it just be like, I don't know, cartoons, anime, like all that stuff. And I remember just loving like watching, whether it be like the Justice League when I was younger or like Spider-Man, just all those. Batman, yeah, absolutely. The Batman animated series. Batman Beyond.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm such a huge fan of that. And then so like the animation that I saw just from the little like snippet of Peggy Carter as what's she called?
Captain Britain.
Yeah, Captain Britain. It just reminded me of like the Justice League kind of like animation that they have.
Yeah, those
and
90s.
Yeah.
Kind of fun.
I'm assuming they'll have like the same animation for all the shows.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. It sounds like they're not doing a Love, Death, Robots for change.
Yeah.
Which to me makes sense. I think they're trying to give these shows budgets, but not break the bank.
It's probably the same people making all these episodes, whereas Love, Death, Robots was like different teams.
Very true, yeah. And it's also Love, Death, Robots, one team working on one show. They're working on, as we see, 8 TV shows. So it's like, spend your time on What If, but don't like, it's not our only show going right now, right? So I think it's going to be that same animation style.
Yeah, and like it just brings back memories of like watching like morning cartoons, watching like my superheroes, right? Like on animation, whatever channel it was. And
it was actually Fox.
What?
It was Fox, yeah. Fox.
Actually?
They had Spider-Man, Batman, and all that. They distributed it, yeah.
Shouts out to Fox.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Fox.
Rest
in peace.
But yeah, rest in peace.
Yikes.
But I'm just so excited to like you get that like I don't know ingredient in there, but then you also get all the stuff that it's like spin-offs from all the MCU movies and stuff. So I'm just so excited to see the different takes on everything from Iron Man to just Spider-Man, like all that stuff. I'm just so excited for it, and like this will be one that I'm guaranteed I'll be watching with the missus like as soon as it comes out.
You know, that's something I actually just thought about right now.
Me too. I think I know what you're gonna bring up.
Right? Yeah. Sony took away Spider-Man. They said they're gonna do one for every movie. What's gonna happen with the Spider-Man movies? Are they not doing that?
I sure hope they do.
Us? You lied to me, Feige?
Well, because the thing is, Disney's allowed to do animation Spider-Man. But the thing is, this is animation Spider-Man, but it's based on a Sony property. So it's very...
That is a good...
So here's the thing. So Disney tomorrow can announce, hey, we're making the Amazing Spectacular Spider-Man. And it has nothing to do with the MCU. It's just a Spider-Man animated show. They can do that because they own all the rights except for the film rights. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, if they're doing an animation or doing an animation on that Spider-Man, that's a Sony property technically, and if they don't sign off on that, I don't know if they could do that. It's the same way they couldn't do like a live action Tom Holland Spider-Man because they don't own that Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. It's like Daredevil and that Marvel show, right? They can't right now bring in Charlie Cox's Daredevil because they I don't think they will, but they don't own that. So I wonder if they just mean every movie except for those ones, but I don't know. Maybe there is some deal they already figured out before, and maybe because it's animation that strikes it, but that is peculiar, and that's going to be weird talking about, because does Tom Holland come back to... Let me look and see if he's on the cast list for that, because they showed all those people, so I'm going to see if I can find him.
I don't recall his name, but...
I certainly hope that that's the case, because, I don't know, just... thinking of the possibilities that they could have for this What If series, it just got me so excited. And like the big like
that dark dark elf one with the
Dark World,
the dark
the dark elves.
Shouts out to the dark elves. But
are they gonna take over? Like, is that what the storyline's gonna be?
It's just Thor Dark World, but Spider-Man. Malekith is just the exact same character, but he's female. I guess I'll just keep talking about.
Well, yeah, usually that's what you do when I'm trying to find out information. No, he's not on that.
Oh, okay. So I guess not. That's a little unfortunate.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, I'm still super excited for that series, and I can't wait for it to come out. I know it's a little bit later. I think it's near the end of Phase 4, right?
Yeah,
it's like 2021.
Yeah, it's
I think
in the summer. Yeah, July or something like that.
So a little ways away, but man, I'm so excited. I'll have my Disney Plus all ready to go.
Oh yeah.
Long before then. That's my number 2.
Number 1 for me. So this one, you can say whatever you want. I said that about Miss Marvel and She-Hulk, and you know what? There's so many reasons why you could tell me this shouldn't be number 1, and I could say you're right, but it's just the hype of the character. When one of your favorite Marvel characters gets announced, he almost made my top 5 on the 4-year. He was like tied with like a bunch of people because it was tough to get that 5th slot, but he's definitely in the top 10 for Marvel characters. I've been waiting for this character for a while. I've been talking about for a while. Anytime someone asks like, who are your live actions you want Marvel DC, he's always mentioned Mark Spector, Stephen Grant, Jake Lockley, Moon Knight himself. I'm very excited for this show. This is a show that could very much disappoint me because I just have that hype, but I don't think they will. Just the fact it's on Disney Plus and not Hulu has me very excited. The fact that we could see him cross over with the Avengers. He's been a member of the Avengers. Whether he might go with the Defenders or the Marvel Knights, wherever he goes, doesn't matter to me. And I think a TV show is better than a movie. I don't think you could get the oh my god.
Uh-oh.
The intricacies.
Intricacies.
Thank you guys. Of that character in a movie. I think there's still a good Moon Knight movie that could happen, but I think it's much better TV form. I want to reveal who, I'll say it because we're probably going to do like a Marvel Knights fantasy draft or whatnot. But my pitch right now, I'm wanting Oscar Isaac in there because I'm looking at Jewish actors. Yeah. He's part Jewish. I need a guy that could do a bunch of stuff. He's not a superhero yet. He played Apocalypse, but we can forget that. But this show, just the potential of it has me very excited. And it's just seeing one of your favorite characters on screen. That's exactly it. And like I said, I want the 2016 run of him being a bunch of split personalities, him not knowing if he's crazy or not, and I think that could be something really dark and twisty for Marvel. Kind of same thing as Hawkeye being a character study. It could be a character study, but you might have 4 characters, so it might just be batshit crazy. The best way I compare it, I would love Brian Fuller to be the showrunner, the guy that did Hannibal. What happens to Will in that show? That's what should be happening to Mark Spector. If Will is constantly losing his mind and not knowing where he is and what's going on, that's Mark Spector. So I should look and see if Hugh Dancy's Jewish. But that is number 1 for me, easily. If I could only pick one thing, I love all these other stuff. I can't wait to see a sequel to Doctor Strange and Thor. I can't wait to see Falcon. But I need that Moon Knight injected into my blood. And that's one because I'm so hyped I can say without any information other than we're making it. And because I thought we might not get it for a while, or it might be in Ghost Rider World on Hulu. So number 1 for me with a bullet.
Do you want to talk about that's yours, number 1 too, right?
Yeah, I'll just piggyback basically on everything you said. I remember, I think a few years back, I don't know if you were the one that told me this, but there were some rumors going around that Netflix might have been making like a Moon Knight show.
Well, and it was always speculative because it's similar. It's dark, New York.
I remember at the time though. Again, I'm gonna get flack for this. Just bringing up the name Hannibal. This is around the time when I was watching Hannibal, and I remember
didn't finish it.
Didn't finish it, but I remember just thinking having a Moon Knight series, it would just be so good because they can actually flesh out that character. And I didn't know too much about Moon Knight. I'm kind of guilty for having the Taylor effect of I just thought he looked so badass. His costume is so iconic, just all white. It looks so sick. No ketchup stains on there or anything. Just looks so beautiful. But I just think it would be such a. Oh yeah, back to my earlier comment. I'm so happy that it would be a TV show over a movie because you really have more time to flesh out the character, and instead of it feeling rushed, I'd be totally down if they did a movie afterwards. Once we I don't know if that's what they would do, but
I think he's more likely to be a Hulk character that would be in crossovers instead of Moon Knight the movie. I think they'd be we're doing a team up with Blade and Moon Knight's in it, and you're like, oh my god,
that'd be sweet though, because
that's what I think will happen.
Because then we get the backstory and the character building that we get from the TV show, but then also on screen with these other people. It'd just be so sweet.
Or he could be a villain at times too, because Mark Spector, Moon Knight's been a villain. He's a guy that has schizophrenia. You can't really trust him at times. So there's many routes. He's a character that just the book is wide open. They can do so many different adaptations. He's not Joker-like, but the same way Joker, you can be like, here's a character, just do something different with them. You can do that with Moon Knight because there's so many versions, and he's a character that might be crazy, so it's kind of easy,
Yeah.
So
there's just so many mysteries on what this show could be, and I'm just so excited. I definitely feel the same as you, Travis. It could be a huge disappointment just because my hype is so high,
and it's gonna build for another 3 years now.
But I remember, finding my dad's comic book stack back and just seeing like Moon Knight and that character, and I'm like, this is so cool. Like I didn't know like a character like that could fit into like the Marvel world, because at that time I only really knew like Spider-Man, Iron Man, like those like iconic characters, but something that's just so unique. I believe he's like, I don't know if it's just one of his like schizophrenia things, but like he's like an Egyptian god, or he thinks he is.
That's where he may or may not be. The powers of the gods get imbued onto him. So
okay,
maybe not.
There's just so many interesting things about this character. I'm so excited for it. But thank you for.
That's going to be the
on.
number one on our collective list. That's for sure.
I guess so. And then Eternals down
there.
Where
did Taylor have Moon Knight again?
He had number one as well.
Did he?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's that hype, Mark Spector coming to town.
Let's go, Mark.
Mark. And fun fact, on this day when we recorded August 27th, it's been I think 3 years now. This was the last episode of Hannibal.
Damn.
That I had not finished.
That's crazy
on my birthday. Yeah,
I should finish it.
Can you just fucking finish it already?
Honestly,
it triggers me every time you say it. It's such a good finale.
I'm at that state that I almost want to rewatch the show, and then
but you'll never do that. You'll never have the time. Has Shay watched it? That's what I'm gonna start tagging. I'm gonna get her to watch it. I'm gonna get her to watch it, so then you have to watch it.
Okay, I'm down. Is it still on Netflix, or they pull that off?
No, they pull it off. I'll wait, and then the second it goes on, I'm gonna make a group chat of you, me, and Shay, and I'm gonna say you need to get him to watch it.
Netflix took the Big Lebowski off Netflix.
What? Wow,
I didn't know it was actually.
I didn't know it was on there. I would have watched it.
It's been on there for like years. I probably watched it like 4 or 5 times. Stupid move, if you ask me.
Stupid move.
Dylan, what's your number one?
It's gonna be She-Hulk. No, I'm just kidding. It's Doctor Strange, my man. I love the first Doctor Strange movie. It's a lot of fun. I really like that character. I think he's just like really interesting visually. He's incredibly unique. He's also super fucking weird, which to me is the biggest.
I can't go that way.
I cannot go
Rachel.
Rachel, my hands don't work.
He's got the jittery hands. Yeah. I just love the look of all the effects. I think he's such an interesting character. The first movie is really fun. You get, Mads Mikkelsen, Cecilius in there. Maybe he'll come back. Maybe he won't.
You keep saying that. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, but if I keep saying it, I'll will it into existence.
That's right.
We tried that with Hannibal. It doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
I hope.
I think what excites me so much about this one is that it's I think there is some stuff that definitely bogs down the first Doctor Strange movie. It's by no means perfect, but I think a lot of what bogs it down is the fact that it is an origin story and that it has to tell the stuff which, when you're this many movies into like a cinematic universe, anytime you do an origin story, it could kind of feel that way. There's even elements of like Captain Marvel that I think on the second watch is like just kind of boring after you already know what it is. Even though they did it interestingly in that movie by changing the pacing and whatnot. Yeah. But
hater of Captain Marvel, on that Taylor bandwagon.
No,
wow.
On the review, you can go back and listen if you want. But I talked about how they made an origin story like more interesting by shaking it up, by making the character figuring it out at the same time you are. But maybe Doctor Strange was definitely a lot more straightforward in terms of it being an origin story. And even though that origin story has just this solid Pink Floyd like set piece that they're doing, it's still can be a little bit slower. But this one is just like full into the madness. This is like, think about how much has changed for that character. Even just like all the experience he gained fighting Dormammu for however long he fought Dormammu for, and then all the different timelines where he like lived all of those timelines. Whether or not that's in like some 1.5 times speed, like Dylan watching through the show in a weekend sort of thing or whatnot. Either way, it's like there's a ton of implications of what that means for the character since we've seen his first movie. Because obviously the Dormammu stuff's like at the very end of that movie. So I'm just really excited to see how that's changed the character, because he was amazing in Infinity War and Endgame, and only in Ragnarok very, very quickly, but he's still fun in there. So I'm just really excited to see what's changed with that character, and obviously, what Scarlet Witch has to do with it, I'm not sure, but that's going to be really, really, really interesting to find out. And like the horror vibes, I think is interesting. Chad was talking about there might still be, or there will still be like comedy aspects in there. I don't mind the comedy in the first one, so doesn't really bother me. But it could go against the genre if they're going for more horror flick. So we'll see what happens there. But I was really excited for New Mutants. It was like really interesting. How are we going to take superheroes, combine it with horror? And those trailers were amazing before that show just. Who even knows?
Just snapped.
One day we'll get the
So movie. I think it'll be interesting to see that from the Doctor Strange perspective. So he's my definitely one of my favorite characters. You can go back and listen to our rankings. He's definitely high up on my list. So.
I know one of our anniversary cast, you said if you could do a movie, you'd do a Strange and Scarlet Witch movie, and it's happening.
Sure did. It's happening.
That's
yep.
hype.
It's
you
happening.
willed it into existence.
I see. That's why I got to just talk about Hannibal, talk about anything Mads, really. Death Stranding, let's go.
Let's go, Death.
Oh, yeah. So here is the combined list. So those are our lists. Thank you for tuning in. Great conversation, guys. Some bad rankings over there, but great conversation. I'm just joking. Eternals last. That was, I saw that coming. Shang-Chi last, or not last.
Might as well, honestly, they might as well be.
Yeah, second last. I guess I'll do this instead of saying second last, third last, fourth last.
Maybe a good number.
12th last.
Conveniently, the English language has a numbering system.
Eternals 13. Shang-Chi 12, She-Hulk at 11, Miss Marvel at 10,
Oof.
Loki at 9, What If at 8, Hawkeye at 7, Black Widow at 6, and then going into the top 5, Wanda Vision, 4, Falcon and Winter Soldier, 3, Doctor Strange, The Multiverse of Madness,
Let's go Doctor
2, Thor and the Dark World, Thor, Love and Thunder, and number 1, Moon Knight. So there you go. So that's our combined list. I'll probably try to make a graphic, post that to Facebook. But yeah, good list there. I guess But yeah, that was fun. I'm excited. We'll do this again once we come to Phase 5. Once we get those movies announced.
It's a weird little phase, this one, but it's going to be fun.
It is.
This is the weird phase. Well, and then even Phase 5 is kicking off
the
Blade,
experimental period.
Yeah, I think it's fun. We should go all. We'll have this cast. So when this happens, when we get through Phase 4 years from now, we'll look back and see, how close we were. Were we pretty right in these expectations, or is Eternals like the number 1 movie and we all kind of wrote
Moon
it off?
Knight is just bad.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Moon Knight's the fucking
it's
worst.
Like 3 episodes long.
Yeah,
what?
Yeah.
How could you?
And it's just him playing Monopoly. And every
Against
episode.
himself.
Exactly. 4.
3 episodes
No, damn it. Feige's like, yeah, we really lost the budget in Disney Plus, so one had to go.
We had this Monopoly board line here.
Yeah, we spent too much on She-Hulk. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you like this episode, please give us a review on Apple. Thank you to everyone that's been reviewing us, been throwing out some good 5 stars. So, if you want to support us and you can on Patreon, the $1 or $5 level, which you get great commentary tracks, you get early exclusive content after 9s. We just did an NCU cast, lots of good stuff, but you can't there. If you like what we do, how can you support us? Give us a written review on Apple Podcasts. The 200 reviews is our goal, and we're trying to hit that milestone, so we would thank you very much if you could do that. If you want to follow along for the next few months, because we got tons of stuff dropping. We do. Oh, yeah. Video and audio feeds are in the description down below, however you are choosing to consume this. So thank you very much for tuning in. We'll be back next week with a bunch of stuff, but more importantly, the Chapter 2 review.
Yeah.
And we promise you, hopefully, that will not be boring.
Hopefully. Bye-bye.
Peace.
Thanks for tuning in.